everybody. My name is Frankie McDonald. You're listening to SimpCast with Chrissie Mayr. I'm Frankie McDonald.
I want my baby back, Chili, baby back, red.
Caller, this call is for Ayala. Hi. So.
Hey, do you remember me?
Who's this?
Nick.
No.
Last name Gers.
Nick Gers. I don't know names. I don't even remember my mom's name.
Say it again.
If you were telling me my mom, I wouldn't remember her name. Like, I'm really bad with names. How do you look?
When you say my name again, I don't even know if you heard me right.
Nick Gers.
Thank you.
Why? Why do you have to call in like that? Why do you have to call in like that? That's not a good caller. It's a horrible, horrible caller. I'm going to play you a little song.
Nick Gers! Oh, Nick.
Me Chinese, me play jokes, me put pee-pee in your coat.
What's up, Vivek?
Hey.
Whoa!
Look at this.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I was craving a Slurpee.
Can I get my change back correctly?
You know, we'll.
I feel like a lot of us are conservative in the way that we just want to be able to say the N-word and it not really matter.
That's all I want. Come on. Is that so much to ask? Can't I just say the N-word? Does that make me a bad person?
Come on, guys.
Violet's a huge fan of yours. She loves censored TV.
Oh, great.
I do. I love your show. Big fan.
All she wants is to be able to say the N-word, but that's the only thing that's holding her back in life.
Yeah.
Oh, it just, you go like this.
How are you and your man?
Oh, Bisconti, he's in hospice. I'm teasing.
Oh,
it's a joke. It was an old man joke.
No, there was somebody in the hospital on meeting earlier, so I was like, oh, geez.
I'm just kidding. He's fine. Oh my God, we're great. I'll marry that man.
Oh,
he's adorable. So.
If my baby's fall out, this is your fault, John. I'm just saying.
Jumping jack. Whoa!
Yeah, don't.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Okay. There. I did it. What, you can take me? My baby's fall out. This is your fault.
Whoa!
There. I did it.
Are you winning, son?
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm an English teacher, a dialect coach, and today I'm going to show you exactly what actors do perfectly and terribly when they try to do a British accent. Let's rate some accents.
My kink is British accents. Oh, is that all right?
Cheerio, cut!
Yeah, right then. Bush cheerio.
You're really attracted to this.
Oh, bloody hell.
I had to look up where she grew up and went to school because I genuinely don't know why she's so good. She's not trying to sound perfect.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass. I'm taking the dog.
He's just happy to have the attention. He's just happy to have the attention.
Got tired of my scheming for the last time. It's me. Hi, I'm the baddie. It's me.
Our next guest is originally from Danville, Illinois. He enjoys cold beer and hot music. Says that he and his mom don't see eye to eye on his love life. And he claims that his job has cost him several relationships. Please welcome Robert Faggot. Fine, how are you? Faggot is rather an odd name.
Yeah, you know, it is an odd name.
Speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out of here.
No, Mrs. Stay.
Musical Jaja.
Happy day. Wednesday. Happy day. Thursday, Friday. Happy day. The weekend comes. My cycle hums.
Your lip. Just kind of get it in there. Fill it in a few different times just to kind of get a real deep color. And then kind of go in here at the bottom.
I'm gay. I have relationships with men and sex with men.
Welcome to SimpCast, everybody. Everybody's favorite Sunday night show. I am your host, Chrissie Mayr. Welcome to the SimpCast Election 2024 special. And by that, I mean we'll probably mostly be talking about Squirrelgate. Before I bring in our fabulous panel, let me remind you all to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am creeping in on 100K. I'm going to put that silver play button right here, baby. You know I am. Or maybe I'll replace it with this article from 10 years ago. 2019. All right. Several years ago. Anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, all the things. Tell a friend. Tell your grandma. Tell your based friend at work to watch this show. Tell your enemies, even. I hope everybody voted early. I voted today. I meant to wear my sticker, but the baby tried to eat it while I was feeding him, so I had to grab it out of his mouth. Hello. Let's bring in my favorite panelists. And every week, you know, they're my favorite panelists because they're here on time. Lady Gravemaster, Nina Infinity, Mikey Harlow, Keanu Thompson, and oh my God, it's Frankie McDonald in the house.
I'm doing great so far. Did you hear about this? I was on the Hot Water Show, Gino Piscante, and last Thursday Gino was doing a Hot Water Football Show. I was on it.
Frankie's the best. He's always, is he plugging himself? No, he's out here plugging all his friends and the different shows that he does. Frankie, I was sent a video from a Mr. Nelson Peabody. And you know what? I've been trying to encourage everybody that they need to vote, but some people, they're not encouraged. They're lazy. They're like, I'm busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show everybody this video here, and maybe it'll motivate some last minute folks. I'm Donald Trump.
Okay, guys, we're going to eat him.
Wow. Like we should.
Donald Trump will win the 2024 presidential election. Oh my God! Democrats after me now. No Democrats after me now.
That's awesome. Who's after you?
So many Democrats after me now.
Oh, the Democrats are after you.
Kamala, obviously.
There's a lot of Democrats after me now.
There's a lot of Democrats after you.
So many Democrats after me now.
Frankie, this is basically our politics.
I mean,
This is what it feels like to be even right of center in 2024 in America.
Trump 2024 for president. From right now.
Oh my God.
good.
Don't let that commie bitch win. Woo! Oh boy.
This is for Nelson Peabody. Nelson Peabody.
That's an air raid siren for those of you not familiar with Frankie's work, and that's probably gonna be what we'll hear if Kamala wins. So I don't trust the polls.
And did you hear about this? And that means Chrissie, you'll be back in the studio, and so is Gino. He'll be back in the studio before you know it.
Well, I thank you for being positive, Frankie. What I'm doing is just making my own studio because I don't think I'm going to be rehired by anyone else. So, but Frankie, if you ever come to New York, you're welcome to come, and we'll do a live show here.
And did you hear what this is? Gino Piscante's doing great so far, and Eric Nagel's doing great, and Don Jameson's doing great so far.
Good. I love it. Oh, and we have Emily Rose Finn here.
Hi, Emily. Hi, Nina. Hi, Mike. Hi, lady.
Oh my
Hi,
gosh, this
Keanu.
is so much fun. I love the energy in this room.
Frankie McDonald is a famous Canadian weatherman. And Nina's also from Canada, so you probably know. You're probably familiar.
It's okay. We all have flaws.
I'm from Detroit,
But I also
so I
live
like
in
to think of
Mexico.
myself as a almost Canadian.
I rejected my Canadianness and I went.
Chrissy, I'm showing you Charlotte Street in Sydney.
There you go. That looks like Canada.
Oh, there you go.
Are you going on a date tonight, Frankie?
I was at Dooley's earlier.
Look at
There's
this.
Charlotte Street in
You know what I
Sydney.
love
Charlotte
about
Street-
Canada? Look at the
clean.
streets. Not a single filthy migrant at all. Look at
It's
you.
really clean there.
It's nice. This is beautiful.
Well, also there's just no one at all.
Yeah, because it's cold.
Hey, a lot of people were outside during the daytime on that street.
I'm sorry. I apologize. There were a lot of people
Movie
outside
type.
during the day.
Frankie, do you get a lot of migrants up there in Nova Scotia?
A lot of the no migrants, they just do illegal immigration to go to school and things like this.
Must be nice. Well, they're just
You know what's
letting them
funny,
in
Chrissy,
here.
is they pay you to go live up there in Canada because it's so cold and no one wants to live there, so they'll give you a house and property. They'll be like,
Why are
live
we
there,
not telling
please.
the migrants this?
Exactly.
I grew up I grew up more north than like 60% of Canada's population.
And did you hear about this? They get it
60?
LED, RGB, 60 million changing LED lights, color changing.
Wow. That's a fun
That sounds
fact.
awesome.
My guy Frankie, how close are you to Newfoundland?
I'm in eastern edge of Cape Breton Island.
Okay. All right. That's one of the times I've been to I guess to Canada. It was quite the experience. That was when the Titan submersible went missing. Do you guys all remember this story? I feel like the whole world was glued to that area trying to find this thing.
No, I don't remember that story at all.
You don't remember that submersible? The rich guys brought all these people down. They all died because the submersible exploded trying to go.
Oh
look
yeah,
for
the
Titanic.
imploded thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we were out there
imploded
trying
thing,
to
isn't
find
that
the
just
damn
Canada?
thing for the
Was it
longest time.
exploded? Yeah.
Hey Gino, hey Chrissy, Gino came to Sydney, Nova Scotia back in April. What happens if you drive all the way up to Sydney, Chrissy?
Frankie,
will
I
happen?
married him. Isn't that weird?
Just imagine if you could drive all the way to Sydney, just like Gino did.
Frankie, we're gonna get into.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Gino.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Gino. I'm doing great, so Gino.
That's so
Hey, Mike and Harlow, how are you, buddy?
They're husband and
on.
wife now. They're husband and wife. I can't believe it.
Frankie, we're coming up to see and staying at your place, okay?
Is that cool?
At the Holiday Inn Hotel.
No.
I'm done interrupting. I love
At
you.
the Holiday Inn Hotel.
Stay with me,
Mikey, call me, Mike.
Okay, I miss you.
Okay, we're going to get into Squirrelgate
so
because I
gay,
think,
Mikey.
as a New Yorker, I feel this issue touches me very close to my heart. And you know what? Even before all this happened, my timeline was full of squirrel content to begin with, just because like that's the kind of accounts that I follow. Like I was following Peanut the squirrel. I was following the owner. So and I was like, I know that squirrel. So I've been very upset about this story. And I did receive this video. And I'm not pointing any fingers, but we are trying to figure out who's responsible for Peanut's untimely end.
Frankie McDonald, riding through the sea, squirrel bounty hunter, know what I mean? Backyard looks good, keeping it clean with the best in the game. You can't be beat for a tidy garden. He's the one to call. Frankie McDonald, he'll catch them all.
Here, Peanut, Peanut.
Wow, I should have
There's
watched that video.
a lot of guys.
This is just.
There's a lot of guys doing video edits out there. That software costs $500 Canadian. They sell them at Best Buy. They sell them at Staples. They sell them at Memory Express and things like this. All those computer stores like Staples and Best Buy and things like this. They sell video editing software that costs $500 Canadian.
Where do they sell your euthanasia equipment, Frankie?
Oh.
Don't let them do that shit to you. Tell them where
They
they
sell,
can stick it.
they sell photo editing software and video editing software at Best Buy and Staples in Sydney.
It looked like you did that to that poor squirrel, Frankie.
I didn't do it at all. Somebody photoshopped my face onto somebody else's body. That software costs $500 Canadian.
Okay, well,
I don't know. I hope it's not you. I hope it's not you. Frankie, we're gonna get into some boring news topics, but if we'll come back to you in a little while if you're not if you're available in a little bit. But I don't want to. I feel bad. You're out there. It's 0 degrees already in Canada, so I just wanted to get to you quickly before you froze out there. Love you, Frankie. Bye.
We'll see you.
Oopsie. I 86 Emily by accident. There's Frankie McDonald. You know him. You love him. And if you don't know him, check out his YouTube channel. He's got more followers than all of us put together. Because he's also more talented and he deserves it. So you're by now, probably all of you are familiar with this Peanut the squirrel story. So basically this man and this husband and wife couple, they rescued a squirrel. I guess they saw the mother squirrel get hit by a car. They adopted this baby squirrel when it was weeks old. They've had this squirrel for 7 years. I didn't even know squirrels could live that long. They had fully trained and domesticated, potty trained the squirrel, I'm sure. In addition to this other like baby raccoon, I guess somebody narked on them, and
Karen.
I don't remember exactly the position of the person who came through, but they basically confiscated these animals, and while they were in the process of doing that, the squirrel bit the person who was, trying to
allegedly
take them away.
Yeah,
and in order
they
to
sent
they had to put them down.
They sent 10 conservation officers to retrieve a squirrel and a raccoon. Like,
that is a waste of our tax dollars.
Four judges.
Apparently, they took apart his toilet to look for like more animals and shit.
They
just stash it behind them like Anne Frank?
That tells you how qualified they are at their jobs. That means that they've literally watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective because he kept animals in his toilets. Where else did they get that idea from?
So Squirrelgate is proof that if the Ninja Turtles were real, New York would have euthanized them long ago. That's why crime is out of control. New York was like, no, we can't have Ninja Turtles fighting crime with their rat daddy.
I mean,
we just can't.
True.
As an outsider, what I really don't get is the fact that there's like literally you hear about ladies getting raped and a lot of murder happening over there. I mean, do they have any priorities like at all?
Yeah,
no,
that's the thing we should be focusing on. It's very sad about the damn squirrel, but Eugene has
their
been talking
taxpayer
about the
dollars are
fucking
going to
squirrel
euthanizing
for
a
3
squirrel
days
as-
straight. I'm wondering, is this what's going to decide the election? A
Yes.
squirrel?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And that's
because
fine,
this is,
and that's America for
it
you.
took.
It's very pop
They sent
culture. I love it.
10 officers. There were 4 judges that signed off on this warrant. There were 7 lawyers involved, and there was a slew of other stuff. This one, and then when they showed up, they were interrogating and intimidating the wife and her immigration status, and were like, if you get in our way, like, you can be deported.
The German woman, because she's German. Like,
Oh, and
what
these
are
people
you
love
doing?
immigrants, by the way.
It is freaking wild. And then the squirrel, who rightfully so was absolutely terrified, attempted to defend itself and bit one of the office. I can't even call them. Bit one of.
Look, I still don't believe it, Lady
Handler.
Grandmaster. I say allegedly bit because that poor little squirrel was a pet and it was friendly.
They don't have body cam footage, but a terrified animal is going
I
to
hope
bite.
they release the body cam footage.
Yes, release the body cam footage. But
That's
because
the
of
thing.
that,
Release the
they
peanut cut.
said
Leave
that
his
in
body
the
cam
interest
footage.
in the interest of the animal, because they might have rabies, because a terrified squirrel bit a stranger, because they both might have rabies, they euthanized Fred and Peanut.
Here's
for their
something no
own
one's
good.
asking. What about the raccoon?
Yeah,
Why
he died
isn't he
too.
star
They thought
either?
he had rabies too, I guess.
They said, they were like, if the squirrel bit, the squirrel might have rabies, and if the squirrel might have rabies, the raccoon might have rabies. So to be better safe than sorry, we're just going to euthanize them both for their own good. These people literally think that you as humans, or us as humans and animals, are better off dead than in any capacity that they don't agree with. This is like, I don't know how many of you have siblings, but this is like the one sibling who's the uber control freak and is like, you're not playing it right. Go away. This isn't how we play. So you just have to leave, but it's like amped up to 11.
I love how fired up you are about this. And did I hear correctly that they actually cut the squirrel's head off, like an archaic?
No!
Yes.
An old archaic kind of way of testing.
Oh my God, no!
Yes.
They decapitated
No,
it,
Emily,
yeah.
no!
To test for rabies. Same thing.
They
with the-
have to.
Same thing with the raccoon. To test
They
for
have
rabies.
Laughing.
Like a guillotine.
You can't
kind of
test
thing
for
the
rabies
squirrel.
like
That's the most
anally
egregious
or any
thing that
other
happened.
way.
Why
No,
are you laughing at Peanut's poor little head cut
That's
off? And it was
horrible.
probably rolling
Do you
down the
understand how,
sidewalk.
like,
That's horrible.
like, okay,
Just
so
laughing.
so to break
No justice, no
Stop.
squeak. No justice.
this is the,
You know
this
what?
whole
We're more.
thing.
You know what? OJ also beheaded a lady. How about she was a human? No one seemed to care. We're talking about this
Wait,
squirrel.
He was
OJ
black, it
beheaded
doesn't
her? I
count.
thought he
my
just
God.
stabbed her.
Oh, he beheaded her.
He
Just-
beheaded her.
What? God
I'm
damn,
teasing.
why am I finding out
just-
this?
Squirrel.
So what you're
Justice
saying is
for the squirrel. I
OJ
hate
killed Peanut.
Oh.
Yes. There would have been more
What?
justice.
Yeah,
There
and
would have
then
been
did I not remember this?
on
You
Goldman.
have to remove the brain to test for rabies.
Yeah.
Why don't we have why can't you just spit on a test or something like that?
because
Why
rabies
is there
doesn't
no
show
swab?
up in rabies doesn't show up in the saliva until after so the mouth foaming and stuff that you think of when you think of rabies, that is like a week after infection has already occurred.
Do you do that with people too? You cut
But
their head off?
can't humans survive rabies?
ISIS
Like I
does.
saw the Seinfeld where Elaine got
Yes.
rabies. She was
So-
fine the
Did
next
they cut her
episode.
head off?
Well, it's a TV show.
I never watched it. Did
In
they
the
cut her head off in the next episode?
No.
You know.
They just sewed it back on. They went very Frankenstein monsters with it.
What
That's
TV show?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld?
Oh,
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
There was an episode where Elaine had rabies.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think they should
the
cut her head
dog
off.
episode. I remember that.
From Athenite, the state knew the animal
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have rabies, considering it lived right. It was housebroken. It lived at home for 7 years. It would have presented symptoms long ago. So
Yep.
either it's living with AIDS or it's living with rabies, like it's fine, like
No.
Michael Johnson.
That's just what
Uh,
they used. The
Magic
bite.
Johnson.
The
Michael
bite.
Johnson.
I thought you were gonna say
Michael
like me.
Johnson, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
I'm like, does he go by Michael? I was using his formal name.
Chrissy doesn't watch basketball.
Clearly.
What is even crazier is the lady that reported that like turned them in or whatever you want to say because of a piece of paper. They were like because they didn't have the license to have a squirrel and a raccoon. This lady in Texas turned them in and then started bragging about it on Facebook.
Okay,
And
a
then-
couple of things though. A
There's
couple
always
things
a
on that.
fucking Karen.
One, apparently they were waiting on the permits. And that's the other part of the equation that's extremely funny and terrible. Because government bureaucracy, they make you wait for these fucking permits. And while you're getting the permits, they come and kill your fucking squirrel because you don't have the fucking
Well,
permit.
This is just like the lady. I think she was raising. I can't remember if it was like llamas or alpacas or something. But because she did not have an exotic animal license, so she rescued them from being abused, and she was going through the process of all of the paperwork, and they showed up and they euthanized her animals right there on her own farm because she didn't have the paperwork.
It's fucking crazy.
Ugh.
Okay, and then the other thing about this lady from Texas, I've seen this situation with the lady, and I saw that several accounts were like, "Let's make her famous," but nobody was posting the screenshot that she allegedly took, responsibility for this situation. So I'm like, are we like, are people just doing like mob justice? Like, what if she has nothing to do with it, and it's like. She's just all of a sudden a target, and then she deletes her social media. So everyone's like, "See, she did it," and I'm like, "Well, maybe because thousands of people were like wishing death on her. What if she didn't have anything to do with it?"
Okay, really quick, you guys. If you have your laptops in front of you, go to the New York Post right now because just a couple hours ago they have an exclusive report titled
I have
"Who
it.
Ratted Out Peanut the Squirrel?"
Emily, you're
And-
reading my mind.
Yeah,
I
owners
was just
actually
about to
came
bring this up.
forward. Yeah, they talked about this. So a really interesting detail that we haven't talked about yet. Did you guys know they were using the squirrel and like all power to them to promote their OnlyFans? This couple has
Yeah,
an
that's
OnlyFans.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
Yeah, it took a
there is
whole
a
new
wrinkle. There's a wrinkle in this story, and that is that this guy, I think, is on OnlyFans, and
wanna
I don't know the
see this on my
extent of
phone.
his content, but I can tell by how he dresses and what his body looks like. I was like, oh, I bet this guy is in the industry.
Mikey's
I don't think
interested
they allow
now.
squirrels on OnlyFans, so I thank God that I don't think that was a part
I don't think anyone's paying to
Oh,
watch
no, it might have been-
squirrels on OnlyFans.
No, I
No,
doubt
it might have been a
I doubt
Richard
he's
Gere
on
kind
that.
of thing.
I hope the squirrel is not in the OnlyFans content. I have a feeling he's not. I feel like that's a
not
side
allowed.
business.
Yeah.
No.
So who ratted out Peanut the Squirrel? Grieving owners have their theory, and it's a rich one. Let's see. Let's go to this inside scoop because I am in contact with this man. I would love to go to this farm, but if I can't make it, I'll at least get an interview with him.
Swear, and he's like a fan of. He was a fan of Compound. Like he knew In Hot Water.
He's friends with Matt Mead. They're like mutual
What?
friends. Yeah.
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 Not somebody that's going to come in here and barge your place and ruin your life, but you ruined mine, and I want to know why. And I wanted to talk to you because it's going to start coming out. I have an OnlyFans page, so this was something, not that it's relevant to this. It's not like I promoted on Peanut's page. It was a way for me to make the money I had to make to buy this.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, some provocative photos, this and that. People enjoy me a little bit more on a different side of social media. It is what it is. It was an ample opportunity. It went
Was it ample?
much better than we anticipated, and it
Ample.
bought this property. It bought the beginning of this place, and as soon as this place was self-sufficient, I was out. This is not about us wanting money. We want this place to live on in Peanut's memory, and we want to change what's going on in the government. We want to pass this law to help animals. The money that we will get, and if we win, the money will go to this sanctuary. We will
It
stay
is
here.
so sweet. And I'm an animal lover. It's a horrifying, horrific thing that happened. It's just difficult for me not to laugh when we're talking about a squirrel and then the OnlyFans thing. It which is perfbly fine. I just
the
don't
deep
know how they
story.
all connect.
So the owners think it was over jealousy. Mark and Daniela Longo told the Post on Sunday they had been cashing in on their furry internet sensation who helped steer followers to their raunchy OnlyFans page before he was seized from the animal sanctuary and euthanized by state environmental officials over rabies fears last week. The couple's financial success, fueled at least partly by Peanut, may have been enough to drive someone to drop the dime on them and their fluffy-tailed cash cow, they said. Maybe it's someone who thinks I use this place to make a lot of money, said of his rescue farm. Did this do wonders to my OnlyFans? Mark said of the site where Peanut frolicked along with other animals. Absolutely, it's making a lot of money from this. The Longo said they bought their 350-acre spread near Elmira with the $800,000 they made in 1 month from posting there. If anyone's still wondering why people do OnlyFans instead of, work at a desk job, it's because of this. They made $800,000 in 1 month. And Peanut then began pulling his own weight with his separate family-friendly fan base. And there he is. He's a chunky. He was a chunky boy.
R.I.P.
Greatest threat in New York that required 10 agents to recover.
That's wild. I had my own kind of squirrel dad account, my own Instagram, Mark Longo said, and it's me doing my workouts. And a lot of times, I don't have time to make dual content like I used to. I just tag my squirrel dad account from the Peanut video I post so it gets double the clip views every once in a while. A shirtless photo. But I completely separated myself from this entire thing. Obviously, people were going to find both and try to associate them. The Longos made headlines after the State Department of Environmental Conservation raided their upstate spread, Peanut's Freedom Farm, and grabbed their lovable furry pet and his pal, a raccoon named Fred, with both critters euthanized over rabies concern because they were in close contact with humans. Duh. I mean, this is ridiculous. Seen by many as victims of an overreaching state government, the couple have become local heroes. Mark Longo thinks it was jealousy that led someone to call the DEC on Peanut, who was a cash cow for them, and the raccoon drinking the latte. This morning at the supermarket, I wanted to get a few extra copies of the Post to keep for myself. Longo said, referring to Sunday's paper with the front page headline, "Bushy whacked." When I walked in, people recognized my face because I was on the cover of the newspaper, and they just kind of smiled and nodded. Last night, my wife and I went out to dinner. We were having dinner, and the couple next to us looked over and said, "We're so sorry for what happened, and we want you to know that you have our full support." Everybody was just noticing, and then they would tell us that, they were sorry about what happened with Peanut. The squirrel's death sparked so much outrage that it prompted a state lawmaker to propose legislation to improve animal rights statutes, calling the bill Peanut's Law, Humane Animal Protection Act. What happened to Peanut was a tragedy. Does it bother anyone else that it's P''nut? Why can't it just be spelled Peanut?
I didn't know that.
Because they do have an OnlyFans, like Nut, I think.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh, God.
State Assemblyman Jake Blumenkrantz said on X, as a state lawmaker and an animal rights advocate, this tragedy can be an agent of change. And this
Wait,
is a
so
video
these
where
guys made $800K.
Sorry, by the way, does my mic
for the
sound better
month?
now? Sorry.
What?
Does my mic sound better now, by the way?
The chat will tell you.
chat
I
was
thought
it
you sounded fine the whole
time.
time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
But the chat was saying that there was crackling.
You know what would be better than more legislation to have to try and protect animals that didn't hurt anybody and nobody was doing anything wrong? No legislation, and the government just, gets the hell, it like backs the hell off. Like,
God.
why the fuck do you need to make a law for your own agents and goons to not go into other people's houses to kill their animals? Like, this is wild to me. Like, it isn't so much, and I know Keanu, like, you're absolutely, this is going to decide the election because this is the most pure
The only reason I laugh is because of that.
No, like,
if there weren't this is mortifying and terrifying and awful that this poor squirrel was beheaded along with a raccoon no one's talking about. That is awful. I'm the biggest animal lover ever. It is definitely government overreach. I just can't believe we live in a world now that this is going to sort of decide.
Because people
our
care
life.
about animals.
I have
Animals
to
are
laugh,
innocent creatures.
well, and it's not just that. Like, you can't, and you guys, we pointed out how clean that Canadian street was. You can't get trash off of the street. You can't get feces off of the street. You can't direct your traffic correctly. You can't help people whose houses are falling down around them because it takes 7 to 15 months to get an approval permit, to get a second permit to improve your property. in New York City. Like, it is wild the amount of red tape and government overreach that is happening. But we're humans, so we can adapt and overcome and figure this shit out.
We're humans and like idiots. We needed like an adorable and horrifying story to make us understand.
That's the thing. I think this isn't as superficial as it seems. Like, if it wakes a lot of people up to what's going on, because this is like an allegory for what government is doing to all of us. You do not hate the government enough.
But the shocking part, Mikey, is that the left is still making excuses like, well, they didn't have a permit. Well, they should have followed the laws.
Yeah, because
Well,
the left are a bunch of fucking Karens, and this bitch is the ultimate Karen, so they find her relatable.
Exactly. But these people would have been the brown shirts in 1925 Germany. That's all I'm saying. Because and they proved that 5 years ago when the coup hit. Like, these are the same exact people. It is not about a solution. It is not about helping people. It is not about morality. It is about control and power. They're hungry for it, and they want it any way they can. That's why they need legislation to tell their own people to not go murder innocent animals and to stay out of people's houses. Like, do you understand how much money
facts today?
I hate it. I hate this so much because do you know what it takes to get a judge to sign off on a warrant? 4 judges. 4 judges on these warrants. 4. Do you understand that is approximately $6 million in taxpayer funds right there? I shit thee not. I shit thee not.
That could buy a lot of squirrels.
That could buy a lot of squirrels.
Like battering ram down the door.
Can't bring him back
with a big acorn.
It's just it is fucking wild to me. And then you send these agents of the state, 10 agents. They are, I guarantee you, they're getting hazard pay. They're getting
hazard
pay. When you get called to answer a warrant, you are anticipating walking into some type of conflict, and your hazard pay, there's a range, so it'll reflect. It will reflect the situation you're walking into, per se.
It's hilarious because the hazard was just a tiny little baby squirrel with a cowboy hat on.
I guarantee you the agent that got bit is probably going to be able to retire for life and live off of probably, let's see, if they go all in like they know they can, mental distress, emotional distress, physical distress,
rabies,
inability.
I still have doubts that there was a bite involved.
All of this
You
stuff.
could just start an OnlyFans and make $800,000. That would be the plan if it were me.
No, now they get to sit on their ass and do nothing and probably collect anywhere between $500,000 to $750,000 a year.
Wow.
Unless their family sues, unless they sue and win. I mean,
allow me to play devil's advocate. Okay. If it were a liberal squirrel, if it were Kamala, like, I am Kamala and I have a squirrel and it is not registered, and then they went in and beheaded her squirrel, would we be this outraged? Or would we be like,
I would.
Like, you don't do this to people. You don't
do anything to animals. That's where I get.
What kind of fucking world do we live in?
This is looking at that adorable little face breaks my heart. I just can't believe that we're in a country where this is gonna decide our election. Yeah, I mean,
I hope it does, though. If this is what it takes to wake people up to what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you have all of these people that live in like upstate New York and who are so detached from from Buffalo and New York City are not like the rest of New York State. So you have all of these people that live in
New York is pretty red.
Yeah. So you have all these people that live in upstate New York, and they're like, leave me the fuck alone. Stay get off my lawn. But
I grew up in South Carolina. I definitely understand state, my government, just let me do whatever I want.
Exactly. Most humans.
I knew my neighbor Holly had a squirrel. Nobody beheaded it.
No, because people have a conscience and they're sane. But like when you think about like where we are and the fact that most of New York is red, but the cities are blue because the government is promising these people that they're going to take care of everything for them. What most normal people want is they want government to function in the background of their lives and stay the fuck away from them. That is what your job is to make sure we don't get invaded, we don't go to war. If we do go to war, God forbid, we win, and make sure.
Is it me or did we lose?
FYI.
Oh no.
Okay, really quick though, like with the utmost respect, I just want to clarify. So we think that Peanut the Squirrel is going to determine this election because there's a possibility that this story could turn New York red. Is that the argument that we're making?
I'm mostly
think
team.
that'll happen.
I just love
I
that
don't-
this
I
is
don't know.
days before the
Okay.
election. We can't stop staring at this squirrel.
I can tell you this. This is the news right now. There's still a couple days to the election. I mean, some other like Democrat animal could be murdered, and then the tables could
And they'll be
switch.
like, okay, we don't even like that.
But how did this
couple days left? I
Does
mean,
no
you
one
don't
else?
know.
Does nobody else find it absolutely wild that it was automatically assumed that this squirrel? But like they were literally calling it a MAGA rat squirrel. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
that it was
it's
a
a
MAGA
squirrel.
squirrel.
It doesn't have a political affiliation, and it's
If the
human
squirrel didn't have a TikTok, would
They-
you?
Someone make a MAGA hat for Peanut.
I think because right wingers like claimed him. I think like we kind of jumped on
He's excited.
caring
Well,
about the story.
I think the reason for that
political,
is that
so
most people who are very concerned about the migrant issue and more serious issues that are going on in New York were voicing their concerns because they're like, what the hell? Like there's all these things going on and you guys are going after a fucking pet squirrel. Like we have bigger problems. And these bigger
fish,
problems are
right.
not being addressed by the government. And that is what people are really pissed off about. Now, I also think, to your point, Lady G, a lot of people were kind of shocked about why this has happened. Now, he kind of, the owner in this article says that he thinks it was jealousy that was involved. And I mean, jealousy and envy can make people do insane things.
Wait, from the cops or from the Karen?
From the Karen. Like the Karen
That's
was
what
jealous.
I missed a chapter here. Who is this bitch? Who is the Karen?
That's what
We don't really
trying to
know.
figure
That's
this
the
out.
question. It's like some people are saying it's this lady from Texas. Now, I don't know if I believe it because the people who are saying that this lady from Texas were also not providing any screenshots about what she said or what the hell's going on. So, there's a theory that it's just this white lady from Texas. Now, here's the thing, though. What I think is really interesting, and to your point, Lady G, is that we've been witnessing the basically authoritarian mindset creep into the minds of the people for a long time, even before COVID, but especially during COVID, because those were the people that were encouraged by people like Mark Cuban and all these lefty fuckers to tattletale on people who weren't wearing masks, who weren't vaccinated, who weren't whatever, to get their livelihoods taken away, to get their children taken away, to basically ruin their fucking lives. So they were being encouraged to participate in fascistic movements that are part of a blueprint that are being used by both communists and the fascist Nazi regime that was during World War II. It's been happening for a long fucking time. And the fact that it's happening, like it was happening during COVID, now it's catching on to people are like, wow, are we still doing this kind of thing? Well, yes, because that mindset has seeped in. It takes control of you and you have no idea why you do it. But the reason you do it is because you think that you're going to get approval points from the government. Daddy government is going to give you approval points, and therefore these people are fucking brainwashed.
Yeah, well, it's broken down to its most base level. It's bully survival instinct. You don't agree with the bullying, but you go along with the bully so that you don't get bullied. And so that's its base mindset. So when you amplify that up to like a government level, it's if I do what they say, if I do what, like if I fit into their square, if I fit into their box, if I do what they say, if I point at the other person, and if I make them the object of, hatred or of anger, what the linchpin, then I will be safe because I am on the other side of it. And what they fail to realize is that when you stay inside that box, eventually people are going to back up behind that box and they're going to start pointing at your box. So then you either have to continue to back up with them into more extremism, or you stay there and you become the next victim.
Well, it's like that famous quote, right? Like, when they came for the squirrels, I didn't say nothing, and then when they came for me, there was no one left to speak for me. And that's what's going on here and now. Like with the COVID thing, they had to walk it back because people were starting to wake up.
Nina, there was
I don't think so.
Nina, there was no one left to squeak for me.
But it's like the wild thing too is now you have people saying, well, we need to forgive each other for what happened during COVID.
Ass.
And I'm like, no, I refuse to do that because I was standing. So I worked at a university during that time, and I was fully prepared to lose my job because I was not going to go get the coof shot. And I was standing over by the water dispenser and I'll never fucking forget. It felt like we went back to pre-K where it's put a bubble in your mouth, stay in your little square, arms out, make sure you're not touching anybody, wash your hands with soap. Oh yeah, have you never heard that? You take a big breath. So you bend down and I can find a bitch who says it ridiculously. So you get down on the level of the pre-K-er, right? So you have to squat or bend down, and then you're supposed to go, all right, let's
Wait, is this like a Catholic school or something?
No. As a Catholic, no, we don't do that at Catholic school. This is public school. Yeah. No, this is public school. They'll be like, put a bubble in your mouth. And so the kids, they catch air and then they puff their cheeks out to look like a squirrel, ironically enough. And then so it's called a bubble in your mouth because then you're focusing on holding your breath and puffing your cheeks out so you don't talk.
That's diabolical.
Yeah.
Is that some bitty fucking school or
Hold on.
who's doing this?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to find you the creepiest. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hang on.
Yikes.
These videos are making me so fucking upset. Like these are pets and they're fucking murdered. Justice for Fred. Justice for Peanut. This is bullshit.
Oh my god, this squirrel liked to eat waffles and things.
I honestly understand John Wick. Like, I don't know how this guy's functioning. I would be fucking livid. I would be fucking going John Wick on these motherfuckers' asses right now. This is how the bulldozer is made, people. Have you guys heard about the bulldozer? Have you guys heard about that motherfucker who took that bulldozer and he made that fucking thing and he fucking went and bulldozed those buildings? This is how that should happen.
Wait, what? I need context.
You never heard the killdozer? That's right, the killdozer. This is how this shit is made. Mikey, Google the killdozer. This is how the killdozer.
Apparently, everyone knows it but me.
Is gonna fucking be created. Like, I mean, because the government fucks with you. That's why. Chrissy, have you ever heard of the killdozer?
Mayr.
No.
Chrissy,
here's Robert Malone saying, based on the search results, it is extremely rare for squirrels to contract rabies. The data suggests that squirrels are not considered vectors of rabies and have never been known to transmit the disease to humans. Well, don't tell Fauci that. I'm sure he'll fix that right up. Yeah, Peanut lived in a house, not in the wild.
He knows the killdozer, Nina. He just said, "What is it, Eugene?" That's all he said. That was it.
The killdozer is an incident of a normal man gone mad because he had to deal with government bullshit and bureaucracy, and so he made a killdozer where he literally fucking bulldozed over buildings in his city because he was pissed off. And he went insane.
That was eminent domain, which is
kind
also
of on
illegal
his
as
side,
well.
though, right?
Here it is. I'm gonna pull up the video so you guys can see it.
There you go.
Once you
I've got the bubble in your mouth thing.
Are we on his side though?
Yes, we're on his side.
We're absolutely on his side.
I was kind of thinking that, but I'm like, I don't want to be the only one.
Hold
the
on, I don't
side
want
of
to
the
get
fucking
get too
killer.
off the subject of Peanut just yet before we get through everyone's comments. From
Peace be
2A
upon him.
Tech Air, thank you for the 10 Chrissy Mayer memberships. Derek C, no justice, no peace. Thank you, Derek. Health Minister of Belgium, about to jab Ryan Kindle with my 10-inch booster. Okay, irrelevant, but thank you.
Ew.
Last chance to grab it. We hardly knew ye. The Fart Squirrel, justice for my brothers, Fred and Peanut. Thank you, Fart Squirrel. Push-ups. What did you do 10 years ago to make the paper? Oh, comedy stuff. Push-ups. Vets talking. How's that hangover, Mikey?
Oh my God, the room was every time I go on this guy's show, you have to drink when people super chat. The room was spinning when I woke up today.
Oh,
It was a good
God.
ass time.
Well, I would have been useless then because I can't drink. Bird Up says, check out the Lily Tang Williams debate clip. It's fun. I'm breastfeeding.
Oh, that's right.
It's fun watching a all right, that is, I'll get that on the next topic.
That was
Night
yeah.
Owl. Every
That
time
was
I think Keanu can't get more beautiful, she proves me wrong. Oh,
Yeah, Night Owl, please.
Night Owl. Average Trump supporter. Chrissy, you need to do Nightlife Canada edition. Oh, that's a nice idea.
What Canada nightlife?
Canada. I know, right? Jeremy Parker, great job on SimpCast, Chrissy. And Emily is awesome. Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, if you haven't watched my interview with Emily from earlier in this week, or last week, please watch it. Viking.
We had a lot of fun.
And did you hear about this? Frankie McDonald killed Peanut the squirrel. Frankie did it. It's true. It's true. I repeat, it's true.
Not true.
Frankie,
I did not see that squirrel at all. I did not see a squirrel. I never made contact with any squirrels at all.
Are you sure, Frankie?
Yeah, I did not make any contact with squirrels at all. I
You
did
never
not
petted a
touch
squirrel.
I did not
Fair
touch
enough.
any squirrels at all. And I got something to say. On Tuesday, October 29th, that's last week, professional photographer John Rashford took professional photos of me. He's supposed to be releasing them on tomorrow, on Monday, November 4th.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, good. I hope he didn't make you do anything untoward in the photos.
right.
Baron of
Are we
Grey
getting
Matter.
a Frankie calendar?
Yes. I would love
Like
that.
that means a professional photographer. I'm waiting for new photos for professional from John Rashford to professional photographers of City Nova Scotia.
So some tape.
Frankie, if a photographer ever asks you to do something like and asks you if you want to be a star, you say no, okay?
no.
You say no.
You say, show me to the nearest couch. I'm just kidding.
Baron of
Yes.
Grey Matter says nuts out for Peanut, fists up for Fred.
Aw.
Last chance to grab it. They've only got 2 days to blame Trump and Russia. That's true. Viking, it's very sad what they did to that squirrel, but I'm all for getting rid of the coons.
What? Wow.
I'm
Make
not,
that
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Viking.
Back in, and that means earlier this year, I was a star on Wet Spot on Compound
Yes,
Media.
you
I was
were.
a star on the Hot Water Show on Compound Media.
You were the star of Compound Media, and they
You
shut
are
us
the-
down. They shut us
Mm.
down. Pink Lake Kiki says YouTube won't let me type the killdozer's name. Look it up. The story is heartbreaking. All right. It sounds
Yeah, I just put the video in the private chat for you.
chance to grab it.
What, the
D-Lick.
killdozer?
D-Lick out for Peanut. Oh. Push-ups. I missed you, Kiki Kamala.
Anthony Cumia Anthony Cumia has the past episodes of Wet Spot and in Hot Water Show in the archives.
Oh,
Right. Kiki,
okay.
can you do the laugh?
No, I cannot. No, I cannot.
It's nothing compared to Frankie's laugh. I gotta
Wow,
say.
Frankie, you're doing it. That's great. That's great.
Great U.S. treasure hunt. New York City can't stop human criminals, but can send 10 cops off a squirrel based on a snitch in Texas for Peanut, edited many times to meet YouTube censors. Right. So now they're saying it may not be the woman in Texas. I got to look into that. Adam Choit. They arrested unmasked surfers during 2020 while letting rioters burn down cities. I am not surprised by a really messed up squirrel policy. What's up, Adam? And Chipicus, IG user Monica Kiesler is the one who called the authorities due to jealousy of Peanut's social media presence. Yes, she is a Kamala voter.
What? Oh, the Karen is a Kamala vote. Karen's for
Monica
Kamala.
Kiesler. Do we
What a
know for
shock.
sure that this is her?
I don't. I still haven't been able to verify.
That is what allegedly that is who
allegedly yes
called who called the popo on Peanut and Fred.
You don't need to know that the Karen is for Kamala to know the Karen is for Kamala.
Exactly.
Karen for. Oh my God, cat! Do y'all hear that? Sorry.
Is that a scream?
Did you hear about a new social media Threads? I'm on Threads now. If you want to follow me on social media, my Threads is at Frankie MacD984. My Blue Sky's at Frankie MacD. My Twitter's at Frankie MacD, now X. And my Linktree is Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDonald94. My Clapper is FrankDonald94. My Twitch is FrankDonald94. My Snapchat is Frankie AMyCD1. My YouTube channel is Dogs Wolf. Say my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie Donald. You're listening to SimpCast.
Woo!
Thank you, Frankie. Get home. Get under
Frankie,
the covers.
you should be like an auctioneer. I was just at a
Cold out
charity event
there.
earlier today. You got the voice for it. You'd be perfect.
He should. He really should.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Sorry, this dude popped. He's wearing like Chrissie Mayr.
Do you know that man?
No,
Do you know? I was looking everywhere for that hat, and then
Wait, did I end up with it? And it was the only one.
I mean, it looks like you did. I'm glad it's in good hands, though.
You gotta come visit so I can give it back to you.
Nina, what's something Persian I can say? I can say get times Jasmine's here. What?
Can you say something in English that I can understand?
I don't know.
And then I'll teach you something in Farsi.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't know if it's Monica Kiesler was the snitch. But where did they get her name from?
Well, people are saying that she allegedly admitted on Facebook that she did this, and that somebody on Reddit found this Facebook and then made a Reddit post. This is what people were saying, that this is how she was discovered. And I'm like, and yet nobody has posted the link of a screenshot to what was alleged, or like how she took responsibility for calling this in and gloated about it, whatever. Again, everybody's saying she admitted it. How? I didn't see a single screenshot at all. Like, and then later on, people were like, "Oh, here's the screenshot," but it looked clearly edited. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that hate people online, and then they'll do shit like this to be like, "Oh, this is how I'm gonna get you back, you fucking bitch." You're like, I don't know. Maybe it's just somebody's cousin they don't like or something.
She could be one of these Looney Tunes, like these bitches who confess to crimes. They're like, I assassinated Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly, Mikey. Some people are fucking weird like that. So, and then people are saying, oh, she's off social media. But yeah, of course you'd be off social media if you became a target of millions of people who are disgruntled over the squirrel's death.
We're
and
not
want to
disgruntled,
go John Wick on you.
bloodthirsty. Get her.
Yeah, they want to go John
Don't
Wick
get
on
it
your
in.
ass. I don't know. It's
She's
weird.
on 9gag. I mean, I think, isn't that a site similar to
9gag?
Reddit?
Look, I'll tell you this. When Trump, the first assassination attempt on him happened, the very first thing that happened was a bunch of people started being like, oh, it was this fucking dude that did it. And it turned out that dude was some Italian fucking football announcer that lived in Italy. Okay. It was a weird situation. And when news breaks out about this kind of stuff and social media goes crazy, you kind of got to take a step back. Like, you can't take everything that comes right away out as fact, because people make up shit all the time. So that's why I was waiting for someone to verify this story, and I still haven't seen it. I mean, no news sources verified
So
it.
some lady did interview. I'll try and find it. She interviewed Monica Kiesler and was like, it was here. Let me see if I can find it. But it was something to the effect of she's terrified for obvious reasons, and that's why she's off the internet, not because not because she actually did it. It's because
Okay, this is a
she's
bad
scared.
website. Don't
Let me
look at
see.
this. Bad article. Bad article.
Again, I don't know. I mean, does it really even matter at this point? Because whoever is this faceless person that, like, soulless, faceless person that fucking told, it doesn't really fucking matter who it is. The point is that people do that kind of shit. And it could be your fucking neighbor. It could be the person living
neighbor
right next
Holly.
door to you
People-
that's going to
people
go
like to take
tell on
credit
your
for things.
ass.
The fucking
Yeah.
scamdemic turned everyone into the goddamn hall monitor. You've
Absolutely.
Tim Waltz setting up hotlines for people to report their neighbors. So I
Yep.
think whoever the Karen is, we hate her obviously, but I feel like the point should really stay on the government and what
Exactly,
they've done.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As
It's
much
the
as we hate
overreach.
her
The thing
and
too,
want to
though,
like nail her to the cross.
Well, but
if we
here's the
could,
problem.
but-
Here's the problem. Whoever that is, like whether it's the Monica chick or if it's somebody else, the problem is that they'll do it again. They probably got a rush from seeing what happened, and they were like, "Look at the power I have." It's the fucking Salem witch trials all over again.
But
that is
Lady
exactly what it
Gravemaster,
is.
again, it's gonna happen either way. That's what I'm telling you. That mindset is set
Oh, I
in.
know.
So even if you go lynch this bitch, someone else is still gonna do it because that mindset is still there. People are still brainwashed to be the bitch of the government, to be government lackeys, to have the nanny state approve it for them. Like that, it's just the way it fucking is. Like, so it
I'm
doesn't
just
really matter
saying-
if you go lynch this bitch or not.
And I
I'm
have no
just
faith
saying
in
there
people
was
that
a
it won't
lot
happen.
less. There was a lot less animal deaths and a lot less crime when public hangings were still a thing.
Yeah, or like fucking duels and shit. I mean, bring back dueling.
Duels? No, that's like I actually
especially in the fucking Senate. Bring back the duels.
Instead of paying attention to the government overreach, people are like, look at this lady, look at this Karen, hate her, not us, her. See,
Exactly, Keanu.
But it's
and she
wild.
sucks, but
Well, yeah, but and like
Hey,
that's,
you guys did it. You guys did it. Yeah.
What I was what I was saying earlier. I remember I was in line to go to the water dispenser to fill up my water bottle, and I could hear these two of my coworkers talking about how any parent that doesn't get the vax and doesn't get their kids vaxxed should be put in a camp, and their kids should be taken away from them permanently.
Wow.
And
that was
while they're
normal
fear-mongering,
conversation
that's what's
for
going to
your-
happen to you. And Trump is
3
gonna
years
put
ago,
the
that
camps.
was a common conversation.
Yeah,
A lot
and
of people felt that way.
I just sat there and I was just like, man, it's wild to me just how easily what is the word? Not corrupted. I mean, they were, but like
Easily
just-
led. It's like it's
yeah,
this
easily
comment
led by
right
the
here.
fucking noses.
This is perfect. Weak people need caretakers. Lots of people in America have not been taught how to survive. It makes sense when they bend the knee to the government, right? We remember the enthusiasm 3 years ago. It was like this hall monitor, like, ooh, I know exactly what to do with my days. I have a path. I have a routine now. I don't have to make it on my own. I don't have to like worry about my hopes and dreams. I can just be like a good little COVID hall monitor, and I'll feel like accomplished in my life.
Remember these broads in their jammies talking about how much they loved staying home because they ain't got nowhere to be.
Howard great, the stakes are now permanently lowered.
Howard Stern, who I used to fucking love, said to everyone, everyone just stay home. What's wrong with you? Okay, Howard, you sit at home on your piles of money and you can do that. You never wanted to leave the house anyway. That's what gets me. It's like, okay, well, everybody has a different perspective and experience.
78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Like this isn't these people are so wildly out of touch. I don't remember who wrote the article, but it said the average American makes $33.82 an hour. I said, no, the average Californian might be making that and can't survive on that either. But I guarantee you that the majority of Americans are not pulling over $33 an hour. That is
Lady
not
Gravemaster.
happening.
That also the paycheck to paycheck thing is actually kind of outdated as well because most people are actually living on debt. They're not even living on paycheck to paycheck. They're living off their credit cards.
It's paycheck to 4 days before your next paycheck, and can you make the minimum payment on your outrageously high interest rate credit card? Like
this is
it's
why people have to have a
insane.
squirrel on TikTok and an OnlyFans. Just
Like,
make
it's,
it.
Get by.
It's
Yeah.
disgustingly true. Like what really pisses me off is when Harris is up there, and she's like, "I was raised in a middle class family." I'm like, bitch, you have
Ugats
never,
was a middle class family.
never in your life have you played utility roulette. Never in your life have you been. Yes, where it's like, okay, am I going to pay the gas bill, the water bill, or the electric bill? Like, which one am I going to go without?
Right. What was
this
the
month?
thing she said? She worked at. She called. She said, I worked at McDonald's, and I love the Whopper. Like, that's Burger
Yes.
King.
The Whopper.
That's, ma'am, that's Burger King.
Like, it's just it's freaking wild that she gets up there and says it. But I guarantee you, she's never played utility roulette. She's never had 3 square meals of sleep for 2 days straight while she's waiting to get paid. She's never made sure that her kids are the ones that are fed, clean, dressed, and they look presentable, and just piecing stuff together and eating like the crust off their kids' plate while they're starving. That is such a common occurrence for so many Americans. It's not even fucking funny. And the fact that she's going to stand up there and be like, I was raised in a middle-class family.
Yeah.
Like, no, bitch.
You know what middle class is? Middle class is when your dad is like, "Oh, the bread is moldy." Like, and I wasn't raised. We weren't poor, but like I was definitely raised in a cut away the moldy parts house.
Yes.
Like I was, and we're all fine. You know what I mean? Like we weren't. You occasionally eat some expired food. You cut off the moldy bits. You
do the sniff check on the milk.
You have 3/4 of a bowl of cereal before you realize the milk has gone bad.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
she's never, like, she has never experienced any of that. And these champagne socialists who legitimately hate human beings do not actually understand what it is to be human, because they've never been genuinely challenged in their fucking lives.
Well, I don't not believe that she probably grew up like in a normal household. It's just this is why I hate politics. I think that because she's in politics, they just get richer and richer and richer and trade, votes and things. But I don't know anything. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about her past or childhood.
Well, you know what? If you want to find out about her past and
I would love to.
about her, what's going on, you should watch some of Candace's videos, because I tell ya, man, she's been doing like a genealogy thing on Kamala, whatever her name is.
She basically proved that she's not black.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Like, I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, so she grew up rich and she's acting like she didn't. Is that the
No, so this is yes. So yeah, what you actually just said, that's legitimately a common thing nowadays, because we are in the oppression Olympics. And so if you
I love all of your rhetoric. It's adorable. What you said, oppression Olympics, then there were 2 more that I wish I had written down, but go ahead. Sorry.
Utility roulette, was that the other one?
Yes, utility roulette.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Because some utilities won't shut you off right away. Sometimes there is a few months of leeway.
They'll give you 1 or 2 months of grace period, especially if it's the winter time and you're in a northern state. They won't shut your gas off on you because it's actually illegal.
It's human rights.
So but then when spring comes, you have to pay up whatever you owe. But that's another time, another place. We can talk about utility roulette on another day. But
and you said champagne socialist.
Champagne socialist, yeah.
That's a cute one.
But so it's this entire thing that they're trying to like push is that we know what to do with your money better than you do. We know what to do with your time better than you do. We know what to do with your children better than you do.
Your animals.
Your animals better than you do. And so
eat the bugs.
That's exactly the central thesis of why I hate politics.
Especially with the children thing, they don't think we know better than you do. They think the kids belong to them. Like that's the thing. They don't think that they belong to you. They belong to you.
Didn't have a say.
That's why you get a social security number, because you are part of the system. Okay.
Which
and if you step out of that system, you get fucked.
Social Security was supposed to be optional. You were supposed to be able to opt in, and now it is a requirement. You are given a social security number at birth. You know who else gave people numbers?
Unless you give birth at home and don't tell anyone.
in a bathtub.
Can you do that?
No, you still have to register your kid, or else you could be taken to prison for the rest of your life because you're
kidnapping.
keeping the kid from the government because it is the government's property.
That baby's
That's
a taxpayer,
wild.
for Christ's sake. You
They
can't keep
the initial charge is for the one that they always get you for is suspected kidnapping and possible neglect and or abuse.
Neglect. There's a lot of
That's-
neglect ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
So so for home births that don't register and don't do the social security number and stuff, it's that they'll come in and they will literally arrest you, and then you'll have to go through the court system and you'll have to get your child back. And
Crazy.
it's fucking insane.
Even the Amish have to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everybody.
There
I don't
is
know if you
no-
guys have that thing.
Sick.
Lady Gravemaster might know, but I know in Canada they used to have like the free man of the land thing where you can give up your status as like a thing and just go live basically off the grid.
Nope.
But that was in Canada. I don't know if you guys have that.
Don't they have the sovereign citizens that
Yeah.
think they can't be stopped at a red light?
Yes,
that's the
Really?
free man of the land thing. It's
Yeah.
the free man's law.
So those are the
Is that
sovereign-
real or are they just some
No.
delusional bitches?
They're delusional because
They're delusional-ish. I mean, there's definitely some things that you don't like basically if you do that, then you're not gonna like let's just call it what it is. You can't it's impossible to do at this point because everything is so integrated. Back in the day, you could do it because people would live off cash or whatever, but now the system is so ingrained to having credit cards and all that kind of stuff that you won't be able to live your life, unless you're like literally, living in the fucking woods.
Oh my god, please make this happen. Please make this happen.
he just has to show up to a rally event with like a banner of Peanut and Fred, and that's it. Like that's all he's got to do.
There's a
Garbage
freaking
collector
squirrel
vest.
Halloween in 2014, and I'm so fucking pissed I lost that fucking mask.
Well, the Keanu, it didn't happen till after Halloween anyway. So
But
You didn't think it would be
still,
relevant
no,
again?
It would have been. I should have kept it.
I will say, even though that this is all a tragedy, the memes, like they
have been
remain
great. The AI
unfucking
memes.
defeated. Truly, like
Peanut
memes
is
have
in
been
the arms of Harambe now.
yes, and so is Fred, and then they've got they're
Yeah, no
eating.
one's
Do
the
you guys remember the liberal who thought when he mixed that track, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, and then all
They're
those
eating the
memes.
dogs.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Do you guys not get that I hate this guy?" And we were like, "No, there's now. Like, this is fire. Thanks for the song." Somebody took that song. I gotta try and find it, but somebody took that song and they added like Peanut and Fred to it.
Yes.
And
Aw.
stuff like that.
Squirrel. Eat
Yes,
If this was a week ago, this would be the biggest Halloween costume.
I know.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Like not at the right time. Like
Instead, it was the trash bag Trump supporter. That was another easy
Oh,
costume.
Listen, it's.
I'm sorry, but that was terrible.
I
I
okay?
thought it was hilarious.
I saw
thought it
somebody
was
out with the ear
awful.
bandage dressed as Trump with the
Oh,
ear.
That's
Yeah.
what I said. I didn't see one white dude from a fraternity with an ear bandage on Halloween.
they were
And
all-
I was disappointed.
Did you
It's
guys
because it
see
was
the
months
pics?
ago.
Did you guys see the pics of the little kids where it's
I did see
a bunch
that.
of them are dressed up as Secret Service
Yeah.
agents. You had one
Let me
kid that
find
was
that.
Trump, and then you had one kid that was
Oh yeah, like the they created the scene.
yeah,
That
they
was
created
great.
the scene.
No,
It was
Yeah,
you
that was
better find
great.
that. I haven't seen it.
Let me
it's
find it.
so good.
Oh my God.
Let me try and find
But
it.
yeah, so like
I know
little
Penny
kids,
tweeted it.
little kids are just little kids love Trump. He's funny. He's
Yeah.
relatable. He's like their cool
He's
grandpa.
That's why adults love him.
Because
as well.
kids are
Right.
bullshit. Kids don't give a
Relatable.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, kids are. It's so funny to me because there's an interview, where he's like, "Who you guys voting for?" And the mom is just like, she's like, "I'm voting for Harris. It's time we had a woman in the office." And her 10-year-old daughter is like, she's like, "I disagree. I would vote Trump if I could." And I'm like, "Give that girl a vote, right?"
Well, you know what's interesting? Nickelodeon apparently every year does a poll of kids who they would vote for.
There it is.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
This one's great. There's another one
That's
where it's way
cute.
more kids, and one of them is holding a sign that says no. The kids dressed up as Secret Service is holding a sign that says "No girls allowed."
Oh, that's cute. That's really cute.
Can I show you a really spicy Halloween costume that I was like, wow, this is like
how spicy?
Kind of spicy.
Mine?
Too spicy for YouTube?
Yeah, it might be a little too spicy for
Why?
YouTube. I'm gonna put it in the private chat and then
the
you
titties?
judge. I thought it was fucking funny. I was like, that's hilarious.
I know that this is not an original. I know that I forget who said this. I know this is not something Viking said. This is like a quote from somebody. If Trump loses, they'll never get the curry stink out of the White House. I forget who said this. If it was I think it might have been a comedian. Somebody in the chat will know who said this.
Bruh, Chrissy, your response to when oh gosh, now it left me.
my god!
Go is a floating island of garbage. Like he's making a joke, and then I forget exactly what you re-quoted or reposted, but it was something to the effect of like breaking news, comedian makes joke. Like or whatever it was you said. And I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
You should show that Halloween costume, by the way.
It's the most like obvious take. It's people are more upset at we're more upset at Hinchcliffe's joke than making any attempt to get the trash off Puerto Rico.
Well, people are more concerned about sending 10 agents to pick up a squirrel and a raccoon whose heads they're going to chop off than cleaning up the streets. Like the amount of
That's amazing.
Before after Elliot and Ellen Page.
So
my
much
God.
trans joy.
So much.
I thought that was a really funny costume. I was like, that's fucking
funny.
That's
It's
really
funny, but that's rude. Oh my
These
god.
are two adults. These are
I
like,
didn't.
It's the before and after. It's fucking great.
yeah, the dark eye circles are really on point.
Yeah, for Christ's sake.
Was that what you wanted to show, or was it like another squirrel costume?
No, that's it. That was the inappropriate for YouTube one that I put.
Oh no, I thought you meant like nudity. That was
Yeah, I
No.
expected titties.
Yeah, no.
I mean, no.
I mean,
dude,
they were there.
They
but-
can cancel you for that
Not
kind of
anymore.
shit nowadays. I don't know.
It wasn't my costume.
It should have been my costume.
You
I wish I
laughed
thought
at
of it.
it. How
Peek
dare
my
you?
wingling. You got no time to do it, but you should throw together a Karen's for Kamala ad. Karen's for Kamala. Maybe. That's not a bad idea. IG user Monica Kiesler is the one. Oh, I already said that. Deranged lunatic. Chrissy, have you seen the pictures of Tugs' puppy? No.
Oh, no,
look at-
I haven't seen.
Puppy.
I'll
Hey,
look at that
Doug's
later.
got a puppy.
Original Hawktua girl. I was born a middle class black child. Honest.
God, that fucking line is gonna go down. Do you know she pissed off
It
so
will.
many people with that fucking line because it's just repeated ad nauseum, and the fact that I don't remember who did it, but somebody clipped all of her accent changes together.
Oh, I
and
gotta
it's
find
just
that.
fucking
I saw that.
brilliant. Like,
Is
let me see.
it's the jerk. I was born a poor black child. Isn't that what
Yeah.
yeah, right. And he's white.
Kamala's
That's Steve Martin.
accents.
But it's just the when she was literally up in Pennsylvania for a rally, and she was doing the cackle and the let me tell you, Pennsylvania, you matter. You matter. And then she went down to Atlanta and she was like, my brothers and sisters, I cannot tell you deep in my soul just how much this means to me to be here with all of you. And I'm just like, stop,
Oh
please,
no.
shut up.
Okay, I think we found it. I think we found the Kamala accent reel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's good, but
Weeping may endure for a night. Joy cometh in the morning.
What is he, a slave?
It may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
You know, empathy, man. You know, for the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose.
You better
That's my favorite one.
a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
I love you back.
We're gonna beat them in November.
It's so bad.
Oh my God! Did you
You all
see?
helped us win in 2020, and we're gonna do it again in 2024. Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my soror.
Oh my God. This is bad.
Yeah.
From Dynasty.
And to all my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Oh my God! I hate her laugh. She's so.
I gotta be honest, it crossed over from like I was really enjoying it to I'm really worried about us. Like
Never looked at her.
Oh my God!
I
Listen,
love when
it-
she turns Dominican.
Did-
That's the best one.
Did you guys see
that
the
was
Cardi
bad.
B situation that happened
No.
at her event?
This is a perfect segue. Thank
Wait,
you.
there was a
Thank you,
situation?
Oh, there's a situation.
Yes, there was
right.
a situation. The teleprompter
Yeah.
stopped working.
Yeah, it's not Mike the situation.
Oh, right.
Like Jim Tan Laundry didn't show up. It was very much a
Cardi
bring out my
was-
smart.
Cardi was fucking
This is
out
so
of her
bad.
element, man.
People have been talking about this because 2 years ago, Cardi famously did this rant, like where she was in a robe and a shower cap, and she's like, "I'm not supporting no fucking presidential nominees anymore. Like we're in 2 wars," and it was funny. It was like she was comparing it to, like a guy saying that he's got money for 2 baby moms, and I don't got it. Like she's very ratchet, as we all know, but it was like funny. It was like in her way. I gotta find that clip, but. Anyway, so that was going around, and then she suddenly is on stage, shilling for Kamala.
Well, before
And-
this, she did also interview Joe Biden
Right.
last election, where she was
That's
like,
right.
"Here's money."
So she interviewed Joe Biden, and then in 22, she said she's done. She's not going to simp for any candidates. But here she is in 24.
I want to know.
I'm wondering though, because Biden told her, I remember in that interview, they told her that because she was like, "Are you gonna get rid of the tuitions for the school, Joe?" Like that was her like whole fucking thing. And where is that? Did that happen? I
No.
don't think so.
They're not doing that. It kept getting shut down. So then Cardi B's teleprompter was broken, and this woman who is a professional, she's a performer, she's an entertainer. She could not riff. She couldn't say anything. She just stood up there awkwardly while the teleprompter was broken.
This was fucked.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
Ugh. I'm
She
like
could have
cringing
done
for her.
anything else.
Anything. Sing.
Anything.
She could have sang.
She could have just started rapping.
How
Just
about, are
start
we gonna
rapping.
vote? Yay! That's
Well,
it.
I don't take lightly the call.
I forgot she sounded like.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous.
I love her though.
I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this
retarded
moment this whole life. My whole life.
Hold on, pause it. I've been waiting for this
I need
moment my
patience over
whole
here.
life. Since I started
I'm not buying the
robbing
little
men.
baby stripper voice.
And I start like when I was stripping and drugging men and then robbing them. But that moment, I was still thinking of this moment that one day I will be standing on the president's podium and talking to the people who I've robbed. You know that guy in the background right there? I've robbed him, drugged him, and robbed him. But he's here now listening to me.
Yeah, she should have just done some lap dances, I guess. Maybe behind her. Something,
Yeah, to the
something
front
along those-
row.
Just like I
Kamala
don't
gives us
can't even think of one of her songs. Like she could have sang super.
She could have
Bass, you know,
sang.
and that's
She could have
not
sang
even her
anything.
song.
That's not her.
Yeah, she
Rob-
would have gotten a standing ovation if she started singing Bodak Yellow.
Yeah,
Any-
but
anything.
But I still I'm sorry. I love Cardi B. You gotta.
Why?
Well, she's adorable. I love her.
She's adorable? What's adorable about her?
Ugh,
She
that's
looks like
fake.
a
not
freak.
adorable about her to you.
The robbing men part.
The
Except robbing men.
the drugging and robbing men, the fact that she looks like a fucking plastic doll that looks like a fucking alien.
It's
She
called
looks
a glow up,
fucked.
Nina. It's called a glow up.
Oh.
I think she's quite charming, and
The
even
fact
though I
that
think
she's
they wanna
mentally
put on
ill, I don't know. There's a lot of about her that's not cute to me.
I
but-
love that you have a strong opinion about her, but I do like her. I find her very charming. I don't know.
I think
Should
when
she
she was
be
being-
here, probably not. But
She
we're
likes
talking
Kamala
about a
because it gives her
squirrel
hope
for 3 hours,
that whores
so
can be president.
politics is, what's that? Sorry, what's that, Mikey?
I said
I
she
think
likes
she has
Kamala
no
because it
scruples.
gives her hope that whores can be president.
There's some whores in this house. There's some
Bro, have
whores
you
in this
heard
house.
of Bill Clinton?
Oh yeah, he was a little slut.
Just saying. Like, let's call a spade a
Patience, where
spade.
are you, girl?
It's called tramp a tramp.
I need
Pop a little
patience
bit.
over here.
Bro,
She can't even open her eyes. It's like she's like,
Hold on. How you guys doing tonight?
Okay, like he looked so
How you guys doing tonight?
nervous.
Are we
Also,
ready to make history?
was she trying to be Marilyn Monroe?
Are we ready to make history?
Maybe.
With the little baby stripper
very-
voice.
Yeah,
Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are
and
we ready to change
the
the next
outfit
8
is
years? Because we're
very,
gonna make
very
sure we have
Marilyn.
Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
Oh, and then like, someone hands her a
Sat
phone.
there blanks and blankly stared. She improved.
It took a long time for her to think to start improvising.
I
Embarrassingly
mean, she
long.
should have just started being like, "There's some whores in this house. We're gonna get the whores in this house."
Well, it is hilarious that I don't I know you guys have seen one, but they're the Dems are running ads of like pure fear porn where it's literally they're like Republicans are going to take away your porn. Republicans are going to let your wife
Yes.
die on the floor.
Yeah,
I'm your
I mean,
Republican.
They know what their
congressman,
people
that
care
one?
about.
Where they
right?
were like,
And-
Republicans are gonna ban OnlyFans. I was like, yeah, that's some
So,
hard-hitting
this is-
issues
OnlyFans
right
tried
there.
to ban OnlyFans.
I know.
For a time, even.
It's insane. So so Pornhub that on the 1st of November, a bunch of states, I think there were like 11 or something like that. You have to give like your driver's license number to log in to Pornhub so that they can verify you're not a minor, right?
That's like in
So-
Texas and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So 11 more states enacted legislation for that to be a thing starting November 1. And
Good.
rather than because and here's the thing. I posted about this on Twitter and people were coming in they were like, "Do you know the kind of infrastructure that Pornhub would have to do? Do you know why how much money that would cost?" It would roughly cost $10,000 a year. That infrastructure already exists, and to implement it with an upfront cost to make sure it functions properly is about $25K. So your first year is $35,000, and then after that, it's about $10,000 to keep that system in place to ensure, or at least help ensure, another safeguard that minors are not visiting your site, right? And rather than doing that, Pornhub has deactivated their site in any state that has legislation like that. So it is not Republican congressmen who are taking away
Wow.
porn. It's literally Pornhub pulling themselves out, giggity, of those states. They are pulling out of those states.
Why
so-
are they doing
because-
that instead of
It's
doing
because
it the other way?
Because they want to get the kids, Chrissy.
It is,
They
it's
want
because
to get them
porn-
young. That's
porn
why.
is highly addictive, especially for young men. And if they can hook them younger, then they can keep them longer. But also, the thing is, Pornhub, if they were to implement that system, it would slow down traffic to their site. You can still get a VPN. Like, I'm not trying to tell people how to get around it, but like you can get a VPN to still, view it if you need it that badly.
Here's the thing: it shouldn't be in government.
No, and it's
raise
not
children, right?
Yes, exactly. But this isn't
I
the
watch
government.
porn. Hi, I'm Keanu. I watch Pornhub. I'm not addicted to pornography, though. Like, I don't think I, have
Do
ever
ladies watch
not
porn?
not met a
I
deadline.
don't.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah, like I
I
don't
used
think
to when I would have a guest
my
on
life.
Wet Spot, we would like watch it just like to be supportive, but like I never.
I remember.
I never
I-
watched it
I
around.
watch it often. Yeah,
It confuses me. Like, those women just looked like they were in pain and not really enjoying themselves.
That's the fun of it. Put it back over their head.
Wow.
That's all right.
What?
I would disagree.
What kind of porn are you guys watching? Because
I don't know.
The ones
I don't
watching,
know.
they're
I don't have
enjoying
time.
it.
I don't even have time to sleep. Like porn is like
I
80th
just,
on
like,
the list of concern.
I saw it one time. I was like, yeah, this isn't my thing. I was in the
Oh
Marines.
my
For
gosh.
anybody that's curious, I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years. I promise you, jokes and all
Cool.
that other shit. And so we were sitting down and they were just like, yeah, da 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 da. And he put in the wrong drive, and it was like a terabyte of porn, and it just like popped up. And she did not look like she was enjoying herself. I was just
Look, here's the thing.
What
Chris
was with the
Elliott.
black guy? Taking like the full arm?
No,
Oh,
so
no.
I don't know. It was weird. It was some chick who was like making really weird squeaky noises, and you couldn't see the dude's face. It's just like his chest that was all tatted up. And it was bizarre.
No,
Can I say, by the way,
there's
I
an
think
industry. Okay, obviously somebody's watching
Hi,
porn.
Candace.
Hey!
Hello.
Here she is. I'm teasing.
Sorry, I'm late
Hi,
to the party. What did I
Candace,
miss?
Candace, are you because I don't want to be the one to spill the beans if you haven't gone public with it yet. But
I
you
have
are
not
doing
yet, no.
okay. But Candace is doing a very big. When is this podcast coming out that you're doing?
Hopefully
Whoa.
soon. Hopefully soon. It's a huge one. It's
Cool.
my second time going on the show, but it was awesome
Cool.
because this time it was in person, and last time it was Zoom, and things just obviously don't translate the same. But it's gonna be really good.
So you did it. You recorded already.
Yes,
and it's coming out.
it is. You have the inside scoop, though.
Okay, I won't tell a soul. Very exciting though.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say she's pregnant.
I know.
Mike's
I
like,
was
more
not
babies.
expecting
That
that.
would be
More
a
babies.
shock.
Aw. Candace is very hot right now. Let me make
Mhm.
sure I get to these super chats
Nice to
before
meet you.
they are irrelevant. Yes, Tugs' puppy. Thank you. DJ Me D-Roast. Remember, if
I'm a
everything
peter
is going according to plan, you're probably walking into a trap. Murphy's
Amen.
Law. Thank you. Godzilla's Greaser. On a brighter note, today is the 70th anniversary of the King of the Monsters. Happy Godzilla Day. Gojira.
Hey,
Gojira.
Gojira. Last
Check
chance
out
to
Monster.
grab it. If you were to go all out and do your best possible Kamala Harris impersonation for FNT, would it technically be considered blackface, or do you get a pass?
She's not black. So
No, she's
not
not
black.
black, so it would be like Indian face.
the
that's
dot
Russell
Indian,
Hall.
not the woo woo Indian.
Right.
Dots, not
That
feathers.
Indian. Christmas loving engineer. Kamala, the trans accent banshee. Lol. Yeah, she's pretty gross. Last chance to grab it. Please tell me there's a clip somewhere of Kamala Harris talking about keeping it WAP. Ugh, probably.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ew.
Simon Ho. Kamala reminds me of a not funny SNL parody. Oh, we could definitely talk
So
about
like
that.
now.
A serious man. Chrissy, you were Flames on Timcast and PCC.
Yes.
Mike, great stream last night on Bets Talking. Hey, Nina, Lady G, keep it real. Thank you, a serious man. Thank you for saying that. I was going on truly no sleep. Like I got 2 hours of sleep just from like
People
packing
loved
and
you in
trying
the
to-
chat.
trying to
Yeah,
get
I thought you
ready.
did great.
I was so fucking exhausted, and I was on no food because Pop Culture Crisis recorded from. I arrived at like I don't know 11 in the morning, no 8 in the morning, and then it was an hour and a half drive to from the airport to where the show was, and so and then once I get there, I've been pumping the whole time, like I'm literally pumping right now, and. And so the whole 24 hours I was gone, I had to pump every 3 hours. So I would pump like in an airport bathroom, literally like as soon as I was done, like on the Timcast, running to a corner to pump, and then I
Wow.
realized that I didn't have enough things to keep the milk in. Like I did the math on how many ounces I was gonna pump, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to go buy milk storage bags in a cooler because I just brought this like one little thermos thing which has a cold pack in it, but I'm like, that's not enough. So I went to Walmart, bought a thermos, bought these milk bags. It's so insane.
Milk
like,
bag.
Oh my god.
and I'm like pumping and then pouring it into these bags, and then just like And then coming back was insane because this little cooler was like full. I'm talking 10 or 11 of these 4-ounce milk bags. And I'm literally like sloshing around the friggin' airport. And then I'm like, going in and out of security because I don't go through the scanner ever. I have to do pat downs. And so
same.
And then the guy has to go. Of course, they had to like look through the milk bag, and the guy with the gloves, he's unzipping it. I'm like, it's fucking breast milk. Oh, what are you gonna take it? You want to dump it out? You want me to make a smoothie with it? He's like,
Good
"Ugh."
Lord.
And then when I zip it up, one of the bags opened up. I'm dripping breast milk throughout the whole airport. I had to run to the bathroom, wash the whole thing out. And I was like, "Ugh." And anybody who knows, it's like the most.
I remember
precious,
them
like,
days.
you don't want to lose any of it. And
No,
I'm
it's the gold.
so tired. And we didn't have. And anyway, so then Pop Culture Crisis went from like 3 to 5, and we had no time to get food. And they're like, "Oh, there's food. There's food at SimpCast." We get there, there's no food. There's just like random Halloween candy, and I'm like scarfing that down. By the time, and then like SimpCast was 8 to 10. By the time that was done, when you're so hungry, you're nauseous, and you feel like you're gonna pass out. I was there, and I was like, this nice guy Chris was like driving me back to the hotel. I was like, "I'm really sorry. Like, I might throw up in your car. I'm so hungry."
That's what.
Oh my God.
You're having a blood sugar crash, and for when you're pumping, when you're breastfeeding,
For milk bags.
That's
My
Well,
milk
so
bags.
you know how when you're pregnant, everybody's like, "Oh, you're eating for 2." That isn't technically true. You're actually eating more for like 1.5 because your body can function on less. But when you start to breastfeed, you are actually eating for 2. So you actually need to consume more.
I'm eating less now than I was.
No, you
pregnant.
need to
I'm
consume.
trying
So
to lose
you
weight.
actually, so that you don't go through those crashes because it's really dangerous for you and your milk, and so for baby too. Right. So, you need more good full like filling calories. So like red meats, fish, eggs, like lots of high protein stuff, and healthy fats like avocado. Because if you don't,
He loves avocado.
because if you don't, you're gonna get more of those crashes, and your milk supply won't be. It's one thing that can help with milk supply, but that's also.
True.
Did you know that breast milk? So this is gonna sound really weird, but
I like weird.
bodybuilders will buy breast milk.
Yes,
for
the colostrum.
Hundreds of dollars. They will spend there is a lady. So basically, it's a disease actually where even if you've never been pregnant, but you can't stop producing milk, so you lactate consistently.
Terrible.
Yeah, she
Wow.
hates it's terrible for her, but she donates. So she donates her breast milk, which she now can no longer do because the government stepped in and said, no, you can't donate your breast milk to these orphans or to these mamas who can't. So the moms have to actually spend money on her breast milk because otherwise it's like illegal trading or some shit like that.
That's fucked up.
But she
Imagine
sells.
having something come out of your body, and then
The government always
That's
wants
so-
something. Like they want
always
crap,
gotta-
no matter what.
Yep.
But bodybuilders will buy it because it's so rich in
The titty milk?
everything. Yeah, titty milk.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders buy it
And
for
they're
hundreds.
sitting there drinking titty milk. Do they even know the titties it came from? Whose
Yeah,
titty
Chris,
was with
we
titties?
could be
So
rich by
titties.
now.
So the breast
I
milk. So this
know.
one lady, she's a multimillionaire, and she sells her breast milk to like bodybuilders, and she gets
Wow.
it. She'll have it like tested and stuff like that to prove that like the
male
batches are good.
bodybuilders.
Test?
Yeah, male bodybuilders will drink the
That's
breast milk.
fucking
Tested for
gross
what?
and
Like
weird.
herpes?
I told you it was gonna sound weird, but they do it, and
That makes sense.
It's like the most pure nutrition thing that
For
they
adults?
can get. Yeah,
Yeah.
for anybody.
Little baby adults drink it. Remember, Mike?
Oh God.
Yeah.
What?
Chrissy, I have a question. Was the reason Tim wasn't there when you were there is because is he taking a step back now from like the whole
What
IRL,
he said is
podcast
that
IRL?
he had to leave early. He had Sam Sater on, I guess, like just before the IRL show, and that was 3 hours. And from what he said and like what I was told is that he left early to go to Nashville to set up their, I guess, their mobile podcasting unit because they're doing all their election coverage from Nashville this week.
Oh,
So he
okay.
just wanted to get like a head start, like getting on the road to like go set that up. So
Gotcha.
but
I
we
thought
had a
like maybe
great
he's not
time.
doing it anymore.
Wait, is
Yeah, I know
tomorrow
he.
election? Am I an idiot? Is it November
No.
4th?
It's
Tuesday.
the 5th.
Tuesday.
Unless you have early voting in your state.
I can't believe I'm not American and I know that, Keanu. How?
I'm not
Shit.
voting. I'm not.
Do you know when
voting.
inauguration
What do you mean
day
you're
is?
not voting?
I know.
It could come down to one vote, Keanu. It's up to you. You're failing your people.
World at my fingertips. No, I can't. I don't like politics at all. I think they're all
But
free.
just vote anyway.
So.
Just vote anyway. Just why
I
not?
can't.
Just
I
do it.
can't. I can't
See,
do
yeah,
it.
he's
But
not
it
a
will.
voter.
I would love to hold that like at my fingertips. If it does
You
come
do.
down to one vote, then I will like. I'll like have the world sit around me, and then I will like be like, convince me why. that
There's a
I should-
movie about that.
I'm
I forget what it's
surprised
called.
Gino hasn't had a voting conversation with you, Keanu.
He doesn't care.
Can I go and
He's like, I don't even
identify
care
as
if you-
Keanu Thompson and then vote for her?
They won't even check your ID.
No.
I know. Can I just do that?
In fact, I voted today. I tried to show the woman an ID. She goes, "I don't want to see that." Like I was showing her a nude. Like that's. how
Oh my
disgusting she was.
god!
It's
Like,
so
I put that
crazy.
away. I don't need to see that.
It's so crazy being in Florida now how different voting is here. That you show ID and you have to sign the thing, and it's like
Yeah.
efficient and makes sense. In New York, you just give them your name and tell them where you live, and you
My
can be
state-
I
anyone.
voted once, but I'm registered in South Carolina. I voted one time in my life, and I'm like, and why did I even bother doing this?
You could
red
make it
state.
too.
It's a blue state here, you know. And
You
also,
know,
yeah,
we were making
whatever.
fun of this with my husband that in a couple of years from now, people will be able to like identify as their different personalities and vote because they'll just like like the people who have like multiple personalities and then like,
That split guy.
yeah, well, like the split guy, but it'll actually be like, you know, instead of having the prime personality take over, it's like no, like they're gonna have to share the body, like because the other personalities
Isn't that
need to
what
have
being
rights
trans
as
is?
well. I
Wouldn't
mean,
it be
well,
wild if
this is
like
getting
the
pretty-
internal conflict, one of the personalities lets slip who they voted for, and it's the opposite of like what the
Yeah.
psychopath killer voted
It'll
for.
be like the
And so
opposite.
there's like a literal civil war happening inside of them.
Yeah, you got like a lefty, you got a righty, and you got a center personality.
libertarian,
It'll be
just for
fucking
fun.
hilarious.
For shits
And
and
a
giggles.
libertarian.
Just
Oh,
for
I
shits
want
and
to
giggles.
play this. You're right here, libertarian. There you go.
I don't. So here's the thing. I'm probably like the most traditional conservative person on this panel. Probably. I have some really hard conservative views. The thing that pisses me
You're
off
with a
about
bunch of heathens here.
the thing that
One
I've been
time,
conservative
you
my
know.
entire life. My
Racism.
entire life I've been conservative. Even when I was younger. I
YouTube
was
cut her
never
out.
like that,
They were
and
like
I-
enough of that.
Yeah, cut me out. No, it's we're having thunderstorms here, so sometimes it shoots the box. But yeah, so I've been conservative my whole life. My friend, like even when my friends were like bleeding heart liberals who were like, oh, I was never one of them. I never went through like that phase. I still had like empathy and emotion, but where they would sit there and be like, oh, that's so sad. You know, that the flood happened, or that there's this garbage heap or whatever. I would actually go and like clean it up. I would actually like attempt to do something about it, and then I would get pissed at them because they'd be like, oh, girl, you're doing such great work. Like, we support you. And I'm like, cool, then get in here and fucking help me. Like, there are 12 of you standing there. Come lift a sandbag or come pick up some fucking trash. Like, do something. And they're like, we're going to be your support. We're your moral support. I'm like, bitch, I don't need moral support. I need 24 hands that are standing right there watching 6 of us attempt to pick up this heap of trash. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So, so the way I was raised, and just like,
Is the heap of trash America? Is that what we're
no, it was actually it was actually a heap of trash. I was a
She
dump
wasn't
truck.
talking about Puerto Rico.
No,
Don't
wasn't
worry
talking about
it.
Puerto Rico.
I'm wondering, like, okay.
Where no, there was an accident on, I won't say which interstate, but there was an accident on the interstate, and a dump truck, like a trash truck, fell on its side, and like all the trash spilled all over the highway.
Ooh, that sucks.
And the government said it was going to take them 2 weeks to clean up. I grew up in rural North Dakota. That's the only road. That's the only road for some people. You can't be cut off from civilization for 2 weeks. So myself and a bunch of my friends, mostly guys, I will say, we went out and we picked up the trash. It took us 2 days.
Wow.
And my other friends who were just like, oh, like they would have been the ones who were standing there with their phones recording it and been like, we're helping because we're giving you exposure. And I'm like, you can put the phone fucking down and come over here and actually, like, you know, pick trash up, because if the 12 of them had actually helped us, we probably would have gotten it done in a day. But they didn't.
But you needed the exposure.
But I did. No, there was I did end up in one of their college projects that one of them was going for photography, and it was something to the effect of, you know, like, college kids aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. And I was like, and yet you did nothing. I took a picture.
Good
I was
for
like,
you,
cool,
Lady
friend.
D.
But, well, that's just to say, like, I've literally been conservative my whole life. So it's really pissing me off that the Republican Party is full of a bunch of war hawk rhinos, and the conservatives in the Republican Party refuse to do anything about our party becoming just a uniparty. And these are the same people who are like, oh, you know, we don't start fights, but we fucking finish them. And I'm over here like, bitch, we're on our back foot with one hand tied behind our back and an eye poked out with our jaw hanging off. Fucking throw your punch, because we have to. Because if you look at who Musk is an independent. Trump is a 90s Democrat. Like, he's a Dem. Trump is a 90s Democrat. He's just sane. He's what Democrats used to be. Ron Paul is a fucking he's a libertarian. As the libertarian, like, he is the father of the Libertarian Party, basically. Then you have a fucking Kennedy, who, again, another 90s Democrat. Like, conservatives want to bitch and moan about
90s Democrat, dude. He was a Democrat up till like 2 weeks ago, man.
No, but what I'm saying is,
he's
like,
fucking over it.
What the values that the 90s Democrats said they had. Craps, yeah. Freudian slip. Or intentional. But what I'm saying is, what Democrats claimed to stand for in the 90s, that's Trump and that's Kennedy. That's RFK Jr. That's who they are. Ron Paul is a libertarian. So it took two Democrats that have 90 Democrats values, a libertarian, an independent, and two fucking millennials to show up and fucking shake the dust off the conservative Republican Party. Because the party that wants to brag about being that wants to be silent but deadly, strong masculine silence, feminine power, feminine beauty. We don't take no shit. We we're not who they say we are. We don't start fights, but by God, we sure as hell end them. Everybody was scared to throw to throw that punch. Nobody fucking did it. So other people had to come in and do it for us. And now you have a bunch of conservatives who are like, well, they don't actually have our values. This isn't this isn't who we are.
Really good point. That's a
and
really
I'm like,
good point.
bitch, you weren't willing to defend our values. I am too young to run for fucking president. I can't run for vice president. I can't fix this shit from the inside. I'm not old enough. That's what really pisses me the fuck off. They want to say, oh, millennials broke the system. Bitch, Gen X, I have so much that I want. Like,
So in other words, you're voting for Kamala. Is that what you're?
You got a red boy. Good
Wow.
Lacey. I am a big fan. Thank you for the red boy. And then I have a question specifically for Candace, because I saw a tweet of yours that I want to get into. Thank you, Rife Technology, for the red boy. Wow.
Do the Trump dance.
Trump dance. Can each of you give your best pitch to vote for Kamala Harris? Also, talk about how sexy Matthew Rife is.
It's adorable.
Oh God.
The
Best pitch to
scientist,
vote.
not the comedian. Who's the
Best pitch-
scientist?
I guess there's a scientist named Matt Rife as well. I would say this is why you need to vote for Kamala, because if Kamala wins, then we will know without a doubt that any president can be installed, and that the media, the old crusty legacy media, is still extremely powerful because they can take somebody untested, as undeserving, the perfect DEI hire that is Kamala Harris, and actually literally fake it till you make it, blow her up into an actual president. Then that will be truly an amazing thing. And then that means literally anybody can be president from now on. They can just be installed, and it doesn't matter who. Yeah.
Well, I was born in a middle-class family, and I'm a black woman, and Trump is very bad, orange man bad. He something fascism and abortion and okay, there was once a little girl, a 6-month-old little girl, and she got touched in the naughty place by her uncle, and she got pregnant. And so for all the 6-month-olds who got pregnant by the uncle who touched them in the naughty place and need abortions, think about them.
There we go.
Well, I will. I'm just going to tell you about the passage of time, because when time passes and people like myself, who is a black woman, is going to be a president, you want to not be racist, and you want to help the passage of time pass by voting for the black because if you don't, you're racist, and Donald Trump is terrible for the country and a complete fascist. So
don't forget, and a Nazi.
And that's
perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, we need Keanu and Candace and Lady G.
Oh wait, also
Best
Matthew
pitch to vote
Rife
for
is sexy.
Kamala. Oh right, and Matthew Rife.
Let's see. Vote for me, Kamala Harris. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Joe is dead. And vote for me if you don't want your squirrels beheaded. And that makes sense.
I would love to hear her say that.
Wow.
Then vote against her, Keanu. A fumble.
Not voting. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't.
Well
do
done.
It. But yeah, vote for her because I don't know. I don't like any of them. It's all
Well, I guess if you enjoy being pandered to, babysat like you're in pre-K, treated like you are the emotional and mental intellect of a 5-year-old that needs to be told not to touch a hot stove repeatedly, and enjoy being treated like you don't know how your own life is operating, vote for Kamala, because she will happily tell you that groceries aren't that expensive, gas isn't that expensive, and then of course her buddies from Hollywood will come out and just be like, have you thought about not being poor?
Yep.
Look, Lady G, I know what you're saying, but don't forget about the passage of time. Thank you.
Yes.
Right.
And
how-
the passage of time.
What does she always say? Undo what has been done. Or something like that.
What has been
Has been
unburdened.
Unburdened by what has been,
You
which
said-
is Joe
you said
Biden.
the secret word of the day.
Unburdened
What
by
can
clock
be?
and time.
What
Okay,
can
Candace,
be?
best pitch for Kamala.
I would say that if you love diversity and an open border where your safety and the safety of all of the women around you is a gamble, if you want the right to kill your unborn child and contribute to this massive population collapse that we have going, if you like that you can't afford your groceries, let alone your DoorDash, and if you like to support democracy for a candidate that hasn't gotten a single vote but is saying that they are saving the republic, and if you want to be treated as a nanny state and strip all of your rights slowly to become part of this global elite world order that treats you as nothing but a cog in a machine that is basically a human meat sack of a battery to serve some alternative purpose that we don't really know. Let's do that. Let's vote for the team that is anti-life, anti-human, pro-poisoning you and your children, forcing medical vaccines upon you as an adult and your kids. Let's just do that. Let's do more of that.
Don't forget the killing of squirrels.
And poor Peanut.
And
because
also
squirrels are a menace.
Right.
They're a menace to society. They're anarchists. They steal all of these nuts and they save them because they don't believe in a capitalistic society. So yes, fuck the squirrels.
Nut
That's
equity.
Right. That's right. Well said.
Even though I'm
Well
not
said.
voting,
Yeah.
as a lady for I would love to see a female president. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't want.
I would like
one
to see a good
by
president. I don't care about
So,
the gender.
all right. So,
I would
Keanu,
love
do
to see a female president that's not a fucking Clinton
I just
or
want-
some weirdo fucking Kamala
Exactly. I just
Harris.
want a
One that
capable.
was the wife of a president. I don't want one that won because by default because Joe was too feeble to
Yeah, I don't
Vote
want to
against
default.
her.
My if I was a betting girl, which I'm not, I only gamble with my life, never my money. But if Kamala loses Tuesday, they'll probably boot Joe out so they can put Kamala in there so they can be like, we had the first female president for those last 12 weeks or whatever.
For
I
a
thought they would have
day.
done that already.
I actually
The passage
really
of
will
time.
be upset. I will be, and I don't care. I have no stake in this game, but I will be upset if the first female president, we have won the first American female president, is because Joe couldn't, he was too mentally
Hang
ill
on.
and feeble, and she won by default. Like I can't.
You
Women catch a break. Like
No,
So
so
you know
here's
what you could do?
Vote
Vote against her.
I'm gonna laugh though if the same thing happens at I think the 2016 kind of like the same thing happened where a lot of the undecideds voted for Jill Stein, especially just because like it was like a thing. So I think that it'll be funny if like a lot of the people who just don't like Donald Trump, because there's a lot of people just don't like the guy. It's not even about
yeah, they're
it's
not
just
voting
really
for
not about
Kamala,
that.
they're voting
But they also
against Trump.
don't like Kamala. So
Yeah.
it's not, so I would laugh if it's a lot of the undecideds actually do vote for Jill because
I hope
I
it
think it'll be
is
funny.
like very divided, and then the world comes to me and says, "Kiki," and then they give me gifts and bring me like presents and say like, "Well, if you vote for Kamala," and I go like, I wonder like what could it
Well,
be?
I mean,
like,
wasn't
swing
Elon
states?
giving out millions? Like you should have
It
signed
was
up.
in swing states, yeah. If you signed the petition and you got randomly selected, you could have won $1 million.
Yeah, you should sign up, Kiki.
So
I wish.
here, the wild thing. So the thing about the outside of all of the insanity that's kind of going on, when I don't want a female president just because she's a woman. I don't. Here's the thing: throughout history,
A dope one though. That would be like not like
I just
dope
want.
in
Yeah, I would like a badass one.
I just want a capable president. Because here's the thing: if you look throughout history, female tyrants are by and large far worse than male tyrants
Like
for a lot
who?
of reasons. Okay, well,
makes
Cleopatra
sense.
managed to take out the Egyptian, the Roman, and the Greek empires all by herself, single-handedly. Like
That's
collapse
awesome.
them,
Get it done.
collapse them into something they were never before. Queen Elizabeth I she is known as Bloody Elizabeth. She killed 5 times as many Catholics as her sister Bloody Mary
She
killed.
had heavy flow.
And he used
She's very
he
anti-man.
used- Yes, and she used Shakespeare to spout.
She married herself.
I love that.
Yes, so she used.
Is that the slut who wore the red dress to her own execution?
No.
That was Mary Queen of Scots.
Yes.
That was Mary J. Blige.
I like that
So-
bitch. I can relate to that, Tram.
If you look at female rulers and female tyrants throughout history, they make
That's
very
two. Which are the others?
They make up. That's 2. So let's see. There's Empress Katerina or Catherine.
Nobody knows
and-
that. You know who people know? Hitler. Not a good guy. That's probably
Well,
the
so
one
that's a
What
spectrum
about-
thing too. So
What about Margaret Thatcher? I mean, she was a fucking badass bitch. I mean, she was nuts.
That's the thing.
Right.
I want like a lesbian president, like a tough lesbian
Oh,
who's gonna get his
Right.
ass.
Tyrant. but
flip the White House
yeah,
and
but
sell it for a profit.
Thatcher wasn't a tyrant. That is the difference. I'm not talking about female leaders. I'm talking about female tyrants. And the thing is,
I mean, I don't know. That's debated if she was a tyrant or not.
I disagree.
That's why they call her the Iron Lady. She wasn't very nice.
She took no shit, but she was not a tyrant.
It has nothing to do with gender. I just want the best person for the job. I
agree. That's what I'm saying. But when you implant somebody like Kamala was in, like, so many Dems are pissed off that there was not a primary. She didn't earn a single vote.
It wouldn't have been her.
It wouldn't have been her.
She ended up there.
I feel like they just do what they're told.
So the reason that it's Kamala and not anybody else is because right now, and they are working to change the law. Yes, it's because it had to be the other person on the ticket for them to continue to use the campaign funds that they had already raised. Otherwise, they would have lost tens of millions of dollars in small grassroots funding and hundreds of millions of dollars in PAC funding because it would have been frozen. Do you know that right now there is over $150 million, which has accrued interest over time, that is sitting there because the reason you can't touch it is it was specifically set aside for a project in New York State, and that project did not go through. But legally,
Is it a
there's
squirrel farm?
Yeah, it's a squirrel farm, absolutely. But the whole reason it can't be touched is because it was allocated for these other funds. Now they're probably pulling from that. More likely, it's like a secret slush fund deal. You can get into all of the tinfoil conspiracy theory stuff, but there is $150 million that since 1977 or 78 has been sitting there untouched because the project that it was allocated for and that it was legally set aside for didn't go through, but the funds were already allocated, so nobody can touch them. It's the same thing that happens with multiple projects throughout the US, and that is why when people are like, where the fuck is the money going? They put so much red tape around it that it can't go anywhere, and then it can be utilized. That's why they sneak in these certain lines in different laws. Like if you look at the Border Patrol line, what that was going to do, it would have been worse than when Reagan gave in on amnesty. Like it would have absolutely obliterated so much. But
I haven't heard of that.
There's so much money that has been allocated for stuff that has never happened that the government just wastes. Now, I find it ironic that Elon Musk wants to create a department of government efficiency by creating another government department. I find that wildly hilarious because I do believe that
because task force work. That's the thing. You need a task force.
But private sector can deliver on that far better and more efficiently than any government entity or agency can. So government and private industry are always in competition. So government tries to strangle with regulation. Private industry tries to innovate and get around it. Like that's literally what we're staring at, which is why America is marching closer and closer to an oligarchy. We're in a pre-oligarchy right now. We are like 2 steps away from full-on oligarchy.
I'm definitely voting for the squirrel. I will go up.
I want to cover this Margot Robbie hate. But I know, Nina, do you want to stay for the Margot Robbie story, or do you have to bounce?
I'll stay for that.
Okay.
I really wanted to hear what you have to say as a boy mom.
Oh yeah, this is a boy mom story for sure.
Ooh.
Margot Robbie's been getting weird hate for having a boy. And a lot of people have been tweeting this out. This is the most bizarre reaction to a celebrity having a son. Are my eyes deceiving me? So this is random person on Twitter in response to Margot Robbie has welcomed her first child, a boy, People reports. And then this person says, girls, we lost. This other person is saying, can't believe, like they're upset. They're upset that Margot Robbie birthed a male child. These other Twitter users are saying, Can't believe she became a boy mom. Tragedy. Boy mom is more of a mindset beyond being a mother of a boy, even though I would abort. But it's simply not fair that a male gets to grow and say his mother is Barbie. Like he's not going to appreciate that in the way a girl would. It's such a waste.
Maybe he'll
There's
be
so
in
much
the bag.
There's so much wrong with this. True, we aren't sure how she necessarily feels about mothering a boy. I would say she could try again for a girl, but I would never want to subject a little girl to having an older brother. Real.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This one person says there's still time. Sometimes they have cot death. Yeah, this is horrible. This is like beyond feminism. This is beyond like
Wait,
not
what the
liking
hell is
men.
cot death?
What you're saying like sudden? They're like sudden death, like sudden like SIDS, basically.
Oh,
What in the fuck? This is beyond. That's
like,
mental fucking illness.
disgusting.
We know
That's
who
not-
these
that's
bitches
evil.
are voting for.
Yep. Absolutely.
These are Kamala voters.
The
in the
fact that
making.
you're gonna wish death on an infant because of the fact that he is a boy, newsflash, you are the bad guy.
But I thought gender
I'll
was a
tell you
social
something about
construct.
Margot Robbie. Just because she played Barbie, she's a very good actress. But do you want to know what? In her Vogue does this thing. It's like Cribs, but for Vogue. Her favorite outfit is a t-shirt and jeans. She is a very humble, and I'm not saying this makes her a boy mom, but just because she's so fucking beautiful and everybody is their like dick hard for her or they're wet for her, like weird, I don't know, feminist, bizarre, I mean, lonely lesbians or something. Like I can't even imagine.
It's a lot of
she's a very
weird projection. Like she's attracted a lot of this weird feminist projections. Like nobody knows. Like we think we know celebrities. You don't know these people.
No, you
It's
don't.
because of that shitty fucking
watched
Barbie
her
movie.
favorite outfit, t-shirt, jeans. She lives a very humble life. Like she's not Barbie. You're
Look, this
projecting
person,
that on her.
this person is mentally ill and thinks she is Barbie. Like your mother is Barbie. Like, girl, Barbie
just
is
that
a
good of
character.
an actress. Right.
So
That is
it's
just so rude.
If you ever listen to some of the like more sane kids of celebrities, whenever like their parent talks about them or something, it was like Chris Hemsworth was talking about how his daughter was like, "Hey dad, you can just like drop me off here. Like I don't need them being like, oh, Thor's here." Like they don't want that attention. They don't bring attention to the fact that their mom is Barbie or their dad is Thor. And then
she's not the Duchess from Wolf of Wall Street. She's just a human who happens to be beautiful and a wonderful actress. And she's probably elated to have a boy baby. She probably wouldn't even think twice. Doesn't matter
you're happy to have any baby. It's like
Yes.
it's just these women are not obviously they're not mothers. They're not even people who they don't like humans. They don't even like themselves. They're deeply damaged. They have deep daddy issues. They hate men, and a lot of times, like I talk about this a lot, when you have a lot of women who are afraid of like getting married and having kids, a lot of these issues come from their own upbringing, their own parents, their own dads, and a lot of times like just from examples I've read, like if a woman doesn't want to have kids or she's so gung-ho abortion, like that speaks volumes to her distrust in men rather than like, I just don't care for kids. A lot of times I'm just seeing like it all kind of comes back.
These are the kind of
I'm all
bitches
for
who trans their
feminism.
kids.
I'm all for feminism and what have you, but like to just because Margot's so beautiful that like it's awful that she had a boy. Like this is
They
the
don't
most
want
mentally
anyone-
ill thing I've ever read in my life.
They don't. So if you actually follow this rabbit hole, because it gets dark quick, they don't want boys to be born, period. They believe that a boy growing in a woman's uterus is akin to they're raping their mother for 9 months straight. That's what they believe.
What?
I'm not kidding.
What?
They say yes.
That's
they
wild.
say that a baby boy being allowed to grow in a woman's belly is akin to him being allowed to rape his mother for 9 months straight. That is
Very
what they.
ethical.
That's just like someone who doesn't understand biology.
No,
how
they
a
don't, and they
body
don't care.
works.
They don't care because they're full of so much vitriol and hate, and genuine disgust for the human race. There was actually I don't remember the account name. It got banned pretty
None of us.
quickly.
You wouldn't have girls without boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What they wanted was they basically all living men would have to take certain tests or whatever, and then they would have to every 3 days for a year straight, they would have to provide semen that would be frozen if it met standards, and then you kill all of the men after 3 years of this. And so it would be only female sperm, but you'd have trillions of sperm.
Whoa.
So you wouldn't actually need men anymore.
That
because
would be
they're only good for one thing.
Who would put the IKEA furniture together?
Exactly. But I do that. In
Right.
this house, I put the IKEA furniture
Nina.
together.
But yeah, that is the mentality of these individuals is that men do not have a it's misandry to a terrifying degree. They think that men should be euthanized.
That's
These
kind of
are
hilarious.
the kinds of bitches who trans their kids. These are
Yeah.
miserable
Yep.
bitches.
Yep.
They have not gotten laid in so long. There are cobwebs in their pants, and so
Exactly.
they're not getting laid. So it's the fault of men
Mhm.
everywhere, and we all need to suffer because they're not getting any.
Honestly, it doesn't matter what anybody has because the baby may crawl out, find a TikTok, and watch 6 of them and choose its own gender. So it really doesn't matter nowadays. So
That's why the
I mean, I
bean
think
doesn't
that's
get to
a good
watch
thing.
TikTok. No screens
Yep.
till college.
That's wild, man. Oh, these
Yeah,
people are weird.
They
I-
are.
It'd just be
That
crazy.
annoyed me. I love Margot Robbie. I hate that somebody made her feel bad.
Yeah, the
Here's
fact
what
that
we can agree on, Keanu, because I like Margot Robbie a lot. I think she's great.
well,
I
and
think we agree on.
yeah, just the fact that you're
She's
gonna look at this
fantastic.
woman who brought life into the world and be like, oh, she's donezo, she's gone, we lost her, and it's like, bitch, what? Like, how the fuck do you even link those two? Like, it's not like she was having brunch with you on Sundays and now you lost a friend.
But remember, they're the good people, and we're the fascist
Yeah.
Nazis.
Yeah.
It's
But-
unbelievably so selfish. It's like, oh my god,
Well,
these
this is
boys are just the sweetest. Like
this
babies in general are the sweetest. So to put
Mhm.
all your issues and all your
See, those are the kind of
problems on them
bitches
like
that are
that.
reporting people for having pet squirrels. Okay, I
Yeah.
can't say that much.
Mhm.
Yes.
I
That's so
I
true.
will. I won't have a child. I don't want a child. But if I could give birth to a squirrel, then maybe, and it would make the world better. Then
What about the claws on the way out?
Oh
Yeah.
god, and the teeth.
Oh,
a C-section? Lovely
Mm.
squirrel. Maybe twin squirrels. I don't know.
oh. That would be cute.
Yeah, it's
all right. On that note, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so
Nina, I
much.
love you.
Good to see you, Nina. It's been way too long.
Yeah, Chrissy, it had been way too long. Excuse me, it had been too long. That's why I came on here because I was like, I gotta go say hi to Chrissy. It's been way too fucking long. So, really good to see you, Keanu, Lady Gravemaster. Always a pleasure. Candace, I didn't get to speak to you much, but you seem very lovely, and I loved your pitch for Kamala. That was fucking fantastic. You seem based as fucking great. Okay, so Tuesday, guys, exciting times. I wish you luck. No matter what happens, try to keep calm and breathe. You know, it's fucked up times. And because of that, I'm trying to provide a lot of white pills. So if you like good white pill stories, come to my channel. I'm trying to do like daily doses of infinite hope. And like I do my Friday show where I talk about good news. So if you're into that kind of thing and you need some white pills in your life, come check out my channel. I'm doing a lot of that right now. Because I want to keep myself sane. There's just too much negativity going on out there. So
I love
that's
that
me.
woman.
Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye, Nina.
Bye, everyone.
Love you, Nina. Candace, yeah, you missed our whole chat about. I want to hear your take on Peanut and Fred, their untimely demise.
Poor
Thank you for
Peanut.
saying Fred. No one talks about Fred enough.
That is true. Everyone is really focused on Peanut. Peanut really stole the hearts of the American people.
He had the social media following.
I mean, I know a little bit about
And
it.
OnlyFans.
But, I mean, the thing that I just see is just a massive overreach. If you create departments and you create jobs and there's not anything for them to do, we're really good at growing industries, growing institutions, agencies, and creating jobs. Really bad at scaling down. So once you have these jobs created, you have to find a use for these people because no one likes wasting money outright. So we want to feel like it's going to good use. So what happens is you have these morons that are now, I guess they have nothing better to do but go raid someone's apartment and go interrogate them for 5 hours and then go kill their pet squirrel. So this is what happens when anything gets too big. And there's these memes that are going around. It's like, well, how about we have a government that is small enough to where this isn't even a possibility. We don't even have the resources to allocate 5 fucking hours to go euthanize a squirrel. This is insane. It's absolutely insane.
Wild, yeah. It's not good.
It's not good. But I mean, I think that Peanut just won the election. So his life was not lost for nothing.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Not.
Right. It'd be interesting if this peanut thing happened in a red state. There'd probably not be as much of an outcry.
Was it in New York?
Yeah, it was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, his farm is like upstate.
Yeah. Is it like it looked like they, and I think the man also started like he saved other animals' lives. Yeah. I like started a foundation from all of the money from the TikTok fame of the squirrel. And, you know, so it's just really bizarre that happened. Is it insane that we're so focused on this? I think a little, but we can't help ourselves. America loves a story.
We love a human interest.
I don't think it's insane at all because if you're a citizen and you have the government that thinks that they have the right to come into your private property and kill your pet, that
maybe it's not insane. It's not insane. It just puts it in a way that like makes political laymen's like me go, okay, this is what's happening with government overreach. Yes.
That's the point, though. It's super relatable. So I think politics, one of the reasons you're not voting, right? It's I don't want to be invested in this. I don't feel like it's bullshit. I don't want to be involved, whatever. If you can show that this directly affects normal, everyday people, like one day you could wake up and someone's going to come to your house. You're not going to be able to defend yourself or your personal property. Right. Yeah. And they're just going to shoot your German Shepherd in the face. Like, absolutely not. Is this North Korea? What is happening?
You're right. No. And imagine how horrifying that was. Although I do live with a cat that is the devil. So I maybe I wouldn't mind.
They made this guy wait. They made this guy wait outside for 5 hours. He needed a police escort to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
They ransacked his house.
It's not
good. Just
yeah.
brutal.
It broke his toilet, broke his
Yeah, it's a good picture of what's going on. That's why I don't like government in anything in life. Really.
No.
Yeah. I'm very live and let live. You want to have a squirrel and a raccoon in your house? You go ahead. As long as you're not hurting anybody. That my problem with politics is there's no curated Kiki list of like this is what I would like for my life. So I don't really that's why that's why
you don't feel like any of the issues like apply to you.
No, I think they all apply to all of us, but I try not to worry about it because if you vote for one, then you're voting for something else that doesn't necessarily fit your life or your, so I'd rather just don't say it did. And then if it does come down to one vote, I hope that it's me. And then I hope everybody brings me gifts and then
it'd be nice if we were not stuck in the two-party system, but there's no perfect candidate.
We don't have to be, though. This is truly an independent ticket. Did you hear what Trump had said about Liz Cheney, that people are flipping out? Oh, he threatens Liz Cheney with violence. No, he said she wants us to be involved in all these wars and send our troops off to war zones. Put her in the damn war zone.
She doesn't know what it's like.
No,
yeah, they twist that to make it sound like she wants...
I guarantee you that Liz Cheney has never been on the phone with somebody that she spent 3 years of her life like trauma bonding with. That's what it's called. It's called trauma bonding. And people that you would normally never spend time with or talk to or have anything to do with, really. The military puts you together and then you become brothers and sisters. I promise you she wasn't on the phone for 4 hours while her husband was driving 100 miles an hour to try and get to them begging them not to self-delete because
Yeah.
they did 3 deployments and they died over there. It's just the body that got back, and it had to catch up to their soul that died over there. And I guarantee you, she wasn't screaming into the phone begging for them not to do it. I guarantee you, she's rolled up on one of her buddies who literally OD'd because he came back from deployment and his wife had jodied him and left with their 2 kids, and he had no idea where they were. Like that, if for no other reason, then Trump started no new wars and he started ending wars, and there was way more peace happening, peace talks, because it was very much speak loudly or speak softly and carry a large stick. And that is what he was. It was
I don't know that he speaks softly, but he got a big stick.
He was respected.
That's a reference to Teddy.
I know.
But it is and we've had a lot of presidents throughout the past. None of them are perfect. But the thing that really bothers me is that you can see how power hungry Harris is. You can see how much she wants to be able to have that control.
How much spending she wants to do.
How much spending she wants to do. And in my life, of all of the research that I have ever done throughout history, there have been exactly 3 men that I have found that have said no to absolute power. The most recent one was George Washington when they wanted to make him king, and he said no. The next recent one would
also,
be
he
Jesus.
had bad teeth.
Yes, poor teeth. The next most recent one would be Jesus when he, didn't come down off the cross and he allowed himself to be crucified and not take the whole world in his hand that way. And then Gideon, when he defeated the armies and they wanted to make him king, and he said, no, God is your king. And so he turned it down. So throughout all of history that is recorded, because there's obviously prehistory that we don't have recorded, 3 men that I have ever found in all of it were able to turn it down. Not one woman has ever turned down absolute power when offered to her, especially not Eve. Not one. When it was offered to them, not one of them.
Yeah, but you're using a biblical
You don't know.
story.
You don't know every.
I didn't say. I said that's why I said what I have found. What I have found. But that's why I said that's what I have found. So when you look at history and you look at patterns, Harris just follows those very similar steps of power hungry desperation.
I gotta say, I think you're looking at it. She's an idiot, sure. Okay. But she's not like I mean, she's not inherently a terrible person, power hungry. Like she's just not qualified probably to be our president. I don't think it's like she cannot turn down this power. I think you're looking. This is why I don't like this. I think you're looking into it like, and this is just me not knowing you. I think you're looking into it like a little too harshly here. Like, she can't not turn it down. Like,
I'm not saying her personally. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. Would you say that like no woman has ever turned it down? And one of your examples was absolutely fictitious. There's no proof of an actual Eve that fell to his death. Then we might as well use Lord of the Rings and use that female fairy that actually turned down the ring because she was the only one besides Frodo. So
there's
like
no proof. There's no proof of Eve existing.
That's
not a
so silly. That's anti-woman. It's such an anti-woman comment. And any good mother turns down ultimate power every single day if she's parenting properly, because what you do have is an opportunity to exercise your ability to be an ultimate tyrant over a little small child that you're raising.
Yes, but that's not power over the world.
It's power over a sovereign ancient being. Yes, it is.
That's why I said throughout
Kamala
history,
throughout history that you found, you said Eve.
Yeah,
Eve doesn't necessarily exist.
So when we get into the historical accuracies of the Bible, it's one of the most investigated. It's one of the most investigated and cross-referential documents that exists. But outside of
how do you feel about the Quran? I mean,
that it has failed similar tests that the Bible have gone up against. But regardless of regardless of whether or not you believe in it, the idea that the idea that it's 100% fictitious, and that's the great thing about this country is there are people that do believe that believe that that's real. Now, I'm not saying I am not saying that women are not self-sacrificing. I'm saying that throughout history, the women leaders that have been offered power haven't turned it down that I have found. I don't know every piece of history, and I don't know every single woman that has been in power. That's impossible for anybody.
But you say
But
that, but that statement implies something. So you're pretending to be ignorant to something that you're actually suggesting to everyone, which is that women are more corruptible. And then that is what the Bible says: is women are inherently evil. We are the cause of all suffering. We are the reason that there is sin. And then you're just talking.
If that was true, though, if that was true, if that was true. If that was true, then Mary would never have given birth to Jesus.
We don't even know. What about the idea that she was actually raped by a Roman soldier and her baby was an immaculate conception, that he was actually a product of rape?
Right. Do you believe that Mary gave
that is historically accurate. You want to talk about history?
Not historically accurate.
You believe as a rational thinking human being that it was immaculate conception.
Sorry, I cut out again. It cut out again. But yes, and
you
like
do.
I said,
why do you believe that? Why can't the Bible just be like something that's?
Why do I believe in an immaculate conception?
Way to live. What's that?
Problem is you have simpletons that treat everything as if it's like it is completely accurate, and it's not supposed to be a metaphor. Everything is meant to be interpreted. You have these people that you talk about power and absolute power. Let's look at all the men at the top of religious institutions. That have done
I don't
nothing but
disagree.
strip away sovereignty and agency from every single individual, make you forget that you are your own source to God and your own source to power, and say, this is not to be interpreted, so much that Martin Luther was getting prosecuted because he said, you have the right as a regular person to read this and decide what it means. This guy in this fancy costume, he's tricking you. It is trickery. He's dressing different to make himself seem like an authority outside of yourself. It is meant to be interpreted. The whole idea of what a Jew is,
that's the point of it.
With God. You are not supposed to take everything at face value and to think that it's like, okay, it's immaculate conception. No, the idea wasn't that she was a virgin. She was the purest person at that time in a world of corruption. So it wasn't that she was a virgin. She was the best person available to be the conduit of Jesus, who I do think was a real person and was absolutely a saint. It wasn't literal virginity that is retarded. She was
You are a literal angel, Candace, and that might be sacrilegious. But yes, that is the best interpretation I've ever fucking heard. Like, absolutely. Women are not
there's no proof, right? How would there be proof that she was a virgin?
There's actually a lot of proof that she was raped and that baby was a product of rape. Absolutely. Look it up.
That's a secular notion. That's not actually.
It's
that
not
doesn't actually have
secular, it's historical.
It's not historical.
One time, it was that this woman had a child without having sex.
So here's the thing.
Yes?
So Jesus preached to people, and he said that I am like this. I am that I am. Like, this is who I am. What do you say I am? When we say you are the Christ, we say that you are our Savior. We say you're the Messiah, and he could not be. So here's the thing: either Jesus was a liar and an evil, corrupt man, or he is who he said he is. There is no in between.
Rules written by a bunch of people. That's a nice way to live.
A bunch of men.
About not hate.
There's
covet thy neighbor's wife. That's like a very nice book of rules to live by. But it also says like a bunch of weird shit in there. Like,
Have you read the whole Bible, Keanu?
Absolutely not.
Like what parts are the weird parts?
Well, if we're speaking on the Bible, okay, Mike Harlow, right? You're a gay gentleman.
Yeah.
Right. So by Bible
not
standards,
actively,
you're
no.
going to hell.
Actively.
You think you're going to hell, Mikey Harlow?
Not for that, for other reasons, quite possibly.
Okay, so
but no.
I certainly don't think you're going to hell because of your, sexual orientation.
Where does it say in the Bible that you can't be gay? Does it say that literally?
Oh, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. So it's not right or whatever. When again, the Romans, they would, who knows what was going on at those Roman parties?
Oh, they were all fucking each other.
So
but
actually,
it's a way.
So fun anecdotal story. It's more of a military humor thing. They actually uncovered Roman barracks that had they're like they're like from, I want to say it was like the year 300 or 320 or whatever it was. And there was a giant penis like carved into the wall, and it's hilarious because Marines, army, like soldiers still do that shit to this day. They still like, I don't know what it is, but like
it's like a frat party.
Like the Air Force, literally the Air Force guy got in trouble for sky drawing a penis in the sky. Like he used government property to do that. He thought it was fucking hilarious. He got in trouble for it, but it made me think of that when he said what was going on with the Bibles or with the Romans.
Straight dudes are pretty fucking gay sometimes.
They're
really weird.
You will never find anybody gayer than a straight Marine. I swear to God, it's fucking hilarious.
You're right.
Nobody
Mikey,
fucking gayer.
I know Mikey has to go. Let me check through the chats here to see if there's anything Mikey related. Rohan says vote Kiki, vote Trump to avenge Peanut.
Yes. Can we change her mind before I take off? Come on, Kiki.
This was another one that has to do with voting.
If I were gonna
Rootless,
vote, I would vote
from
for him.
Rootless Redneck JFC, please explain to Keanu. You can only vote in a state you're a legal resident in. No, you can't decide to vote in South Carolina because you voted there last if you legally reside in New York. But I do support people not voting.
The South Carolina check IDs. I'm just saying.
Are you registered in New York?
No, I'm registered in South Carolina. So listen, last time I voted for Trump. I mean, I'm not
So what's stopping you from doing it again?
I know. I feel like I just don't like politics.
She doesn't like it.
Like, just out of curiosity, is it because was it 2020 that you voted for him, or was it 2016?
Well, yes, it was 2020, and I felt that like we're gonna all be staying inside forever if I don't go and vote. That was a reason for me to vote. But I like Trump.
It felt more important.
What I like about Trump is I think he likes everyone. I don't necessarily like. It's just that people that he has to get votes from people. I'm not the religious right, the stuff that he has to trade votes for and things like that. Like that's all politics. I don't hate the man. I think I think he inherently really just wants the country to be good and people to make money and have it be run by like a business. And I don't think he hates anybody. That's what I like about him. But I'm certainly not going to go vote for Kamala. She's, an airhead. But I don't feel like I have any stake in the game at this point. So that is why.
I wonder if it's so and feel free to not answer or anything like that. But just out of curiosity, there is that they were doing studies. A lot of people that voted, especially first time voters who voted in 2020 for Trump, are not voting again this year because he didn't win in 2020. And it's like a trauma attachment. Like, have you come since you're not? Yeah, like it's like they're traumatized from
like you don't trust
voters. Yeah, they're first time voters. They don't know they don't necessarily think 2020 was rigged, but they also feel like there was all this hype, there was all this like push, and then he didn't win in 2020. So like, why would I put myself through that
don't
again?
Get your hopes up.
Yeah,
in 2020, which is probably why I went and voted, to be honest. But it was such a dire time. Like,
yeah. It really
that's why I went and voted. I mean, I was in South Carolina just thinking like, fuck, I better go and vote. This is
right, because you were over there during the pandemic.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
That meant something to me. Now it's like, to me, I don't really have a stake in the game, and I don't necessarily. I just don't like.
You don't feel like things are that bad. You don't feel like it's affecting your life that much.
No, I mean, like if I don't love either party, I guess I could go and write in, Minnie Mouse. Yeah. Or I could write myself in, I suppose. Fine. You know what I mean? Like, why?
I love you. You're giving me an aneurysm.
I know. But what will my vote matter anyway?
It will. I will tell you why.
I hate that people feel that way.
Me too.
Yes. I will tell you why. Because the Republican Party sucks so badly. They are so useless. In New York, we've just in the time that I've been alive had Republican governors, mayors, senators, and then at a certain party, the Republican Party they lose once and they just wash their hands and give up on an entire state. However, and they've done that for years when New York used to be kind of winnable for them. However, the last election with Lee Zeldin, it was a lot closer. And hopefully this one, it'll be closer. And it kind of encourages the Republican Party to suck less.
Yeah. The Republican Party is fighting a war of attrition, and the liberals, the more authoritarians, they are fighting an actual fucking ground game war. Like, that's what they're doing. And it's you can't win. Like, there's a difference between a tactical retreat and just outright giving up. And Republicans, Mike's absolutely right. They wash their hands of any state that they don't. If they don't take it once, they wash their hands and walk away.
Yeah, I'd rather don't say I did, and I also will I will go vote for the squirrel. I will go vote, and I'm gonna write Peanut in. But
you'd have to fly back to South Carolina tomorrow, though.
Right? It wouldn't even
or Tuesday.
No matter what, if I registered New York where I live, it's a blue state. It's never not going to be a blue state. Like, if you break it down,
it could be.
Reagan flipped it. Reagan flipped every state except Minnesota, which he only lost
Giuliani.
By 3,000 votes.
I offended Giuliani when he came into the restaurant.
It's okay. He can't help it. He's
Well, I just didn't know him. I'm like, who are you? And he was like, I'm like, looks like he sleeps in coffee.
Good point, Cyberhunk. Kamala convicted over 1,500 people for marijuana.
Oh, that shit.
She is actually she really is power hungry. There's a video going around talking about that she started her big thing on truancy. She would she was talking about wanting to throw parents in jail if their kids.
She did. It wasn't a want. She did.
Yeah, I think she's an asshole too. If I were gonna vote, I'd probably vote for Trump. But it's just everything that comes with it. I can't.
What comes with it?
What comes with it?
Because Keanu, you think that you're going to be associated with what you think the worst of the Trump supporters are if you.
I don't like the worst of the Trump supporters.
You're already associated with it. These bitches will hate you anyway.
Yeah, I just
that's the thing. And what do you think if you vote for Kamal, you're going to be associated with pedophiles? Then it's like
right. I certainly wouldn't vote for her because I can't. I would love to see a female president, not one by default. But
when you say
Trump himself, if it were Trump himself and not his supporters or people, I get very cagey with the religion. I'm not even saying I'm not a religious person. Just the religious, severely religious people, it's just not for me. That's
and
like
I said
about that
earlier, I've been hardcore Christian conservative my whole life, and so I completely 100% understand what you're saying, because when I was in the Marine Corps, one of the people that was next to me who we had to trust each other with our lives, the guy on my left, Johnson, he was an atheist, and the girl on my right, she was Muslim. And so we always cracked the joke of when a Muslim, a Catholic, and an atheist get in a foxhole together. That was our running joke, right? And it was so great because you learn so much from everybody. And when you actually have those conversations and you hear well, why do you believe that? Well, why is it that way? Why do you think this? I don't think it. I know it because of this. And so you get to see all those different perspectives. It's really, really great. But then you run into some people who are if you don't think the way I do, if I can't convert you, if I can't do this, then you're an idiot or you're evil or you deserve to burn in hell. Those people are also the problem, because that is what in Catholicism we call, and I think it's just Christianity as a whole, but that is self-righteousness and that is utilizing things in a way it is actually taking like the Lord's name in vain when you claim you're doing something for God, which is actually against his teachings. So it's really interesting when you get to have those conversations, but I know exactly the kind of people you're talking about because I've met many of them.
Right.
So
I just don't agree that it's really a factor with Trump. I would completely agree with you
Him?
if this
No,
was 20
him
years ago and it was Bush and Cheney, because I
Oh,
think that
God.
was, I would never be a Republican if they were the ones running. And that was this sort of worst theological
Mike,
mix
are you
of
still
politics.
trying to leave?
All right.
I got talked to.
It's those Midwest goodbyes. Like you can't quite,
It's the Italian goodbye.
Yes,
Aw.
exactly.
Yes, I should though. I love you guys.
I love you, Mikey.
I missed
Mikey,
you guys. I
tell
haven't
the-
seen you in so long.
Tell the
I know.
people.
I just met you and I love you,
where they
Mike.
can find you. Yes, you're the
Fine,
best, Mike.
you
We'll have to have you back.
Yes, you gotta. Tomorrow night I'm doing my twas the night before the election stream, so you guys should totally come on if you're not doing anything. You guys should come hang out with special guests. But yes, it's on my YouTube channel, Mike Harlow. Mike like Tyson, Harlow like Gene. I'm on the Twitter at not Mike Harlow, or just find me wherever. Find me on the street corner. I don't know. I love you guys.
Love you, Mikey. Appreciate you.
Love you. I'll talk to you soon, babe.
Oh, bye, Mikey.
I love him.
He's the one that has the Chrissie Mayr's boobs hat. I was wondering where that went.
I love
Okay,
how
here's
he
a-
was holding it in his hands and he's like, did I end up with it? And it's like, yeah, you're holding it, bro.
I see it. Okay, let
And it
me
was
pull.
filthy. I loved that. He really
I know. I definitely don't want it back. I don't know where it's been. Here's a clip. I think I saw this earlier today. Of just a little background on our girl.
I learned. I think I was
already laughing at this woman.
Part of that work. I learned that with the swipe of my pen,
Oh God.
I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours. They could lose time from work and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community. All because of the swipe of my pen. Weeks later, I could
He sounds
dismiss
like
the
she likes
charges,
it.
but their
I
life
know.
would
That's
forever
my-
be changed. So I learned at a very young age the power.
The power.
Yeah, pen is mightier than the sword and all
Jail
that.
that I didn't deserve to be there, weirdo. Yeah, that's
Oh, that I feel kind of wow.
that gave
I
me
just-
the yeah.
Yeah, I've never wanted to have that much control over other people's lives ever. Like ever. Like with the swipe of my pen, I can make you sit in jail for 48 hours. That is not something that I would have ever even thought to say, because like why would you want that? You know what I mean? Like
Because it makes you feel powerful, and
that gives me
it gets her pee-pee hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets these little dicks hard. Right, exactly. Her dick, my dick, all of our dicks. Not good. No, wait.
Well, like I just man, it blows my mind that that's the kind of power they want. Whereas like what Candace was saying earlier, like mothers self-sacrifice every single day, and like you have all of these things that you can express that are incredibly feminine and powerful. And I guess it hurts to see anybody, like man or woman, like men who want that level of control also give me, as what did you say, the ick?
The ick. It gives me the ick too.
Right. It genuinely really fucking bothers me. Have you guys ever seen Secondhand Lions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
I relate to those old guys so much every fucking day. And after this whole
I
peanut
think
thing,
I saw it in the theater even. Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't thought
What's it
about that
about?
in years.
Oh, you've
Yeah.
never seen it?
Mm-mm.
Oh shit. Okay, so this kid without massive spoilers, this kid goes to live with these spoil it. kid goes to go live with these two older gentlemen who literally take zero fucks from anybody. They also, it's like all these people have these rumors about how rich these two guys are, even though they don't like flaunt their wealth, and everybody comes to them for money. Well, this kid, he's just like, well, what's the point of having that money if you don't use it the way that like you need or want? And they end up buying a lion secondhand who's old like them, who was hence the name. And as the movie goes through, you get more insight into why these men are the way that they are and how they came to be essentially the hermits that they are. They are the epitome of get the hell off my lawn with a shotgun, like literally. And
it's a very
that movie was the first movie I ever cried at. I think it's
when did it come out?
Oh God,
it's many years old.
Yeah,
it is. God, what's his name?
So he's the Sixth Sense kid. The
2003. He was still a kid. Yes. So
03, is that when it came out?
It was early.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull this clip up.
I knew I
This
could
is
drive.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This was a clip of Hochul. While we're on the subject of New York still, sort of. Kathy Hochul just called Trump supporters anti-American. Woo! This is my governor.
It gave me a chance to tie the Republicans running in these seats, the incumbents, closer to Donald Trump, and remind everybody, if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American because
anybody's pro-woman,
American value, what our country is all about, over and over and over.
Imagine thinking that like what it means to be an American is just about abortions. Yikes!
But also the man, I'm sorry, and maybe they didn't do a great job, but the man hired Secret Service detail that were a bunch of fucking women. Okay, like the man has always hired women. This is why I like him, but
He
not
shouldn't have
making
had Secret Service women. They did a shit job. He almost died.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't hire competent women. So like the one chick who couldn't holster her weapon and was like really flustered. Never know. Maybe they thought because this was Podunk, Pennsylvania, it wouldn't matter. Like, but it did matter. Like that's the thing. So we always use like complacency kills. And so usually you train up your rookies in what you think are going to be low threat areas. So maybe that's what they were doing.
Yeah, but like if you're hiring Secret Service, you have to be able to be a human shield. And Trump is a very large person, so it's not even competence. Is their build is not big enough to physically protect him. Like
it went awry. It did not go as planned, but I like that he tried to have women. And he's always hired women. He's always hired women, like in all of his businesses.
If they're 6 foot like burly women, then sure.
Yeah, he needs Red Sonja. That's who he needs. He needs to go hire like Red Sonja and Samus. That's like just pull the characters out of pop culture. There you go. But it's it's much better. He's much better at hiring business women than he is approving Secret Service women.
Wasn't that was a misstep on his. But he's not dead.
No, he's not dead somehow. But
God.
like it's wild. It's just a wild time, and I've never seen. That's the other thing too. Trump is a showman. Like, say what you will about the man.
He did 3 rallies today. He's doing 4 tomorrow. He's got boundless energy.
And the man is in his 70s. Like, there are 20 and 30-year-olds who are so like, just like.
I get tired after doing 3 podcasts. I don't know how.
There's 20 and 30-year-olds who like collapse. I know, right? Imagine if you had to pump. I'm just it's wild when you just look around at the state of things and you're just like, how does a 70-year-old man have more energy than like these 20 and 30 and some of these some of these 40-year-old politicians who were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna call it a day. It's been a real rough one. And then he goes out after doing 3 hours on Joe Rogan. He does a 3-hour rally. Like, what the?
Yeah, and that's exhausting.
That's another thing I wish that Kamala had. I think they said. I wish she had even tried. It would have been hilarious for her to try and do Joe Rogan.
Try to do
She'll
3
never sit
hours.
there. I think you tweeted it, Chrissy. She would never sit there for 3 hours and like. She
Well,
would
I've
just
never.
things
Could
to
she?
say, I guess, but
I don't know. Maybe she could. Maybe she could do it. Like,
well, I think they said. Well, she did Howard Stern, right? Okay,
Yeah.
and he's just gonna ball.
I mean, of
walk
course she could sit and talk for 3 hours, but I think her tells there'd be so much that she couldn't talk about or couldn't talk honestly about that her tells would just kind of give her away and people would see how dishonest she is. 'Cause
I
think-
also think I don't know why Joe Rogan. I think they offered her. They said you can come to us and she'll do an hour. If I were Joe Rogan, I would have flown the fuck out there. Yeah, I would love to see you speak to me for an hour. You know, so I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't
she
do it.
controls and she controls everything about it.
It's a unequal playing field. He made a statement about it. They gave Vance the slot that they were holding for Kamala, if I remember right.
And then they had Fetterman on. They had a retarded, brain dead, hulking.
He's not brain dead. He's brain damaged.
He's brain damaged, hulking, hoodie wearing lurch of a man, John Fetterman on, who would be in the middle of answering a question, then be like, "Huh, what?" Like Joe Rogan was like, "Oh, it seems like," and Joe Rogan was being really kind and gracious. "Seems like you're the only guy who figured out you don't have to wear a suit." And then he's like, "Yeah, what?"
Oh no,
because he was working with his iPad. He was
Yeah.
working with this like iPad thing that would I guess whatever Joe was saying or the questions he was asking would come up so he could read them in the read it over like because he would forget. But
Yeah, I guess his when he had his incident, it's like an auditory processing issue. So like he hears it, but it doesn't process in his brain correctly. So he has to like read what was said.
I think I have that, and I didn't even have a brain injury. Sam says he literally explained it. She'd have handlers in the room, which Joe didn't want. Yeah, because no life rafts for her. No life preservers.
Well, could you imagine trying to do like an authentic podcast with like government goons hulking over you
They'd be
the whole
like,
time?
She'd be constantly consulting with her earrings for the answers.
Hello. Anybody there?
Okay, let me blow
Do you
through.
think? Do you get? Okay, just out of curiosity, do you guys think that those are Bluetooth earrings?
It's possible.
Oh,
No?
fuck no.
It's possible.
She
Sorry.
would be a lot better if people were feeding her lines in her ears. Then, like,
I thought she did well for her. She did really well.
For her.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah,
she did.
She's
Yeah,
I
she's
hate to
heavily
even
trained.
shit on her so badly because she's a strong woman, but I just hate that a woman could win by default because we elected a feeble old man. I don't like that at all.
I completely understand. So do you want like Kamala and Trump to get in like a literal boxing ring and then just like duke it out for real?
No, I
No.
want
physical
I
fight.
want people
Yeah.
to I want to be the lone not voted person in America, and I want people to send me gifts. And
Well,
but I
there's
will-
millions of people who
Oh,
aren't
so-
voting, Kiki.
So you want to be
I want
bought.
everyone to vote except for me, and it come down to me, and then I want them to.
There,
you know,
there is a literal movie about that, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like he's the only one that didn't vote, and so both party like they show up at his door with like news crews and gifts and stuff, and then
be
they're
so
like, "Who are you gonna vote for?" And like his daughter is like, "Dad, you don't have to tell them," and he's like, "Well, they're gonna know." So
I know.
like it's bizarre, but also like I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was fucking hilarious.
Again, if
for
I
the
were
most part.
going to vote, I would probably go and vote for Trump again. But
So
it
so
just
when you
conf-
say you don't want everything that comes with him, you can just vote for Trump and then leave everything else blank. You can do that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Well, I'm just banking on the fact that people are going to send me gifts, and I'll be the only person in America. who can do it. So just decide what you're
Let me
going to
blow-
send me, and then
I'll
I will
blow through
decide
it.
the election. Yeah.
Oh my God, Erica, thank you for the pink boy. Erica is the queen of the chat. Chrissie, you absolutely slayed all day Friday. Stellar work. God is with you. Keep shining. Thank you, Erica.
I love Erica.
Can't believe I made it through just on a few little pieces of Halloween candy. And I didn't throw up in anybody's card. Thank you, Erica. You the best. I feel like I constantly feel like I don't know what direction to go into. Like, I don't know if you guys wake up every day like, what am I doing with my life?
With an impending sense of dread and doom. Yes.
Yeah.
Anxiety. It's okay.
Or just this feeling of like you wanting to be busy, but you don't want to like stream just to stream. You're like, I want to always, like I think I need more time to like fuel up and not like when you're doing a lot more output and you don't have enough time for input, you just kind of feel like, oh, I'm not explaining this well, but you want to feel like you want to have like a nice, solid, juicy show. And sometimes I feel like I have nothing in the tank.
Chrissie, you're hard on yourself, but you're really good at what you do. And I mean, you pump during a stream, even with a medical grade pump, and you're the best mother I've ever seen. And like, you're very hard on yourself. So, but we all are. I understand that. But you're doing the Lord's work, as they say.
No. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna blow through these really quick. Michael Gavinelli. Hey, Chrissie, are you gonna vote for Tukey or Cardiff on Tuesday? Wow. This is not relevant, Michael. I'm voting for everyone. Best friend Tukey Hacka Hacks. Okay. DJ Medeiros. Remember, the people who vote decide nothing. The people who count the votes decide everything.
Oh, I should count the votes and I'll throw them away.
Yes,
fun.
Be a poll worker. It might be too late. Last chance to grab it. Cardi should have just done that thing with the beer bottle. Ugh. Torgo the White Retardy Bee looks like she has a perpetual melted face filter on all the time. Look, she's called the glow up. She got all her teeth fixed. Last chance to grab it. It's a good thing kids don't know about VPNs.
What's that?
DJ Medeiros. Remember, the inherent flow of capitalism is an unequal sharing of the blessings. The inherent flow of socialism is an unequal sharing of the misery. Winston Churchill. Great quote. Rattle Shark. I replied to your Twitter link to this live show. It's a snip of Danica Patrick at a Trump rally. I believe I heard that the other day. Let me find that. Danica came out for Trump. Whose doggy is that?
That's my doggy. He's trying to eat lightning and thunder right now because he's a 7-month-old chocolate lab who thinks he's a chihuahua that can sit in your lap even though he's already 65 pounds and huge. And it's just like, we love him to pieces, but he is very much a puppy. And so every time there's like lightning, he's attempting to bark louder than the lightning or the thunder rather. So yes, I love my puppers. We had a black lab for 10 years and he died of cancer, sadly. Cancer.
And then you were like, Black Labs matter. Black Labs matter.
Ironically, I was given that sticker as a joke from a friend. But yeah, we got a chocolate lab, and he is so sweet and loving, and really does think that he is a 5-pound chihuahua that can sit in your lap and curl up underneath you, and then doesn't understand why your chin hurts when he headbutts you.
Okay, here is Danica Patrick.
You literally get 6 presidents when you pick him. You get Donald Trump. You get J.D. Vance. You get Bobby Kennedy. You get Tulsi Gabbard. You get Vivek Ramaswamy. And you get Elon Musk. Because when I decided that I'm going to vote, now I'm speaking. And I'm not paid to be here. I don't have a teleprompter. I'm winging this right now, everybody. I don't need a telephone. I never went to a Diddy party. I'm doing this because I love this country. And there's nobody that's been tested more than Donald Trump on showing his love for this country. Through indictments, house raids, mug shots, and getting literally shot. I'm standing here. This is like a very surreal situation. There's glass around me to make sure that nothing happens. Like, this is the time that we're living in. Nobody has been tested more than him on how much he wants you to have this amazing country, not only great again, but better than it's ever been.
True. I've been liking his speeches lately. I'm very hopeful. He's like, it's gonna get better and very quickly. I'm like, oh, that does sound good.
Do you remember he sat down for that interview? I forget who it was with, but they were like, well, the Democrats say that you're gonna be like a tyrant with the pen for your entire presidency. And he's like, just day one, because we're gonna drill, baby, drill. Like, I'm just gonna sign all of the drilling permits, and we're just gonna drill for oil. Like, he was trying to make a joke. And for the longest time, they tried to run with that soundbite that they're like, see, he admitted he's going to be a tyrant. And I was like, that's interesting, because you just played the clip of Kamala talking about the power with the swipe of the pen. And it's just.
Yeah, that gave me the ick a lot about her.
I'm like, she enjoys this.
Yeah, I just remember a time when, like, government stayed out of your life and you could kind of do your own
remember
thing.
that.
You don't remember that? No?
No.
I think I was like 5 before I knew what government was. That's the last time I remember.
I've got to go to bed or I'm going to fall asleep on stream.
Oh my God, it's so late.
It's so late. Thank you for having me on.
You're the best, Candace.
It was nice
Definitely
to meet you,
gonna have you back, Candace. There's so much to catch up on, I feel like, and I'm very excited for your. I'll wait till you tweet about it, and I will retweet it. Very excited and proud of you. Tell the people where they can find you and where to follow you.
You can go to chattingwithcandace.com. It's got my podcast. It has all my socials. All the transcripts are there. And again, thank you so much. You are one of those very, very rare breed of women that actually supports other women just because you like to see other people doing well. So thank you so much. You've always been so kind and so supportive, and that is so rare. So I appreciate you very much, and you do an amazing job. And thank you again.
Thank you. Well, it doesn't mean I'm not jealous of your hair, your boobs,
I know.
everything.
Radiance.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone follow Candace. She's the best. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Love you.
Night. Bye, Candace.
Oh my
I love her.
goodness.
She's a sweetheart.
He is. Hook. Bless you, girls.
Hook.
Hook. I'm like, honk. I can't read. Bless you, girls, having beautiful babies. Maybe my great grandkid will have a chance.
Are you old? I guess. Is that the joke? I don't know.
Have you guys seen that picture where it's the older couple and then their kids come stand by them and then their spouses walk up and then their kids and then their kids' spouses and then their kid, and it's like a 6th-generation photo? Have you guys seen that video?
Wow, no.
Yeah. It's actually pretty incredible what, like, I know that population collapse is something that probably doesn't get talked about enough, but is definitely on the horizon. And it's just proof of that in one
effect of a family.
Yeah, like one generation can literally turn it around. 2 generations, and it's no longer even a thought in the wind. But it is. I think right now Japan hasn't had a birth in 3 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there has not
Really?
been I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God!
3 months it's been.
Japan hasn't had a birth
It's
in
like
3
that
months.
movie. What's that movie? No, not No Country for Old Men. The one where they're not having
Which is a
babies.
great movie. The one where they
Great
have where the youngest person, they're keeping children of men.
Children of Men.
Mhm.
How scary.
Wait. Why? Because they're overpopulated?
No,
or something?
so female Japanese women are becoming more like westernized and independent, and so
They don't want to ruin their figures. They're incredibly superficial.
The beauty standards in Japan are insane. Let me see if I can.
Oh, really? They haven't had a birth in 3 months. You
Yeah.
can't be
Okay.
kidding.
Let me see if I can
crazy.
find that article. I know the AP, Japan's fertility rate was 727,000 babies were born in Japan in 2023, which is a drop of 6%. Over the years. Where is it at? I know it's in here. If I can find it, I will.
Okay, no pressure. Thank you, Adam Simon, for gifting one Chrissie Mayr membership. Whoever gets that is extremely lucky. D4 as well. Look up Bathory and Boudica. 2 most women ever. I don't even understand what that means. B.
Hey, you know what? Give her $5, okay? And then maybe you can not. We can't understand that.
Just spell. Just try to spell it out. Check out the Lily Tang Williams debate clip. It's fun watching a pampered Dem get scolded by an angry Chinese mom. I watched that yesterday. It was really neat. God, I forgot what state this woman was running in, but she was going against a woman who was basically like someone who's of the community running versus kind of like a plant, a Democrat plant. And it's not that she didn't want it that bad, but like she didn't seem like she wanted it that bad. Lily Tang Williams. Sorry, let me see if I can find that.
She absolutely slaughtered her competition, her opponent.
Yeah, it was cool.
Eviscerated her. Yeah, because here, so all it's talking about is 5.3 trillion yen or $34 billion has been set aside.
She follows me.
Ooh. Lucky.
Okay. I'm going to follow her back. Wow. That's cool.
That's really cool.
Where is she?
Look at how awesome you are.
Like, what is it? Like, it must be a mistake. New Hampshire. Why would
It must be a mistake.
why would a New Hampshire person follow me? Okay. Let's play this clip. This is a good one. Anytime anyone follows me, I'm like, what? All right.
You have an imposter
Use
syndrome.
that you would follow a competent individual.
Just like, what? It's a mistake. Okay. Meet Lily Tang Williams, congressional candidate in New Hampshire. Her bio says she was inspired to leave communist China after reading a pocket constitution. She's not giving an inch. So this is the kind of lady that we would see at January 6th. All the rallies, really, but there'd be like a bunch of gals like her with their signs, and they'd be so passionate and love this country because they truly know communism.
And hope for the best. Hope that the results will trickle down to hardworking people. I take a very different approach. I believe that the middle class deserves to
She's about to be like,
we will do a lot for this country by ensuring that we don't continue this disastrous tax policy. You're wealthy. You're worth $20 million to $30 million. How do you know about regular people suffering? Do you go shopping, go to Walmart, buy food, and talk to those people? And you pretend to be renter in Nashua a few months ago, moved back to run for this open seat with millions of dollars from Washington, D.C. insiders. And the millions of dollars, I don't have money to run a TV ad. And you pretend you are the work complaint rent is so high. You couldn't save an apartment for other people to rent in Nashua. Just go back to your $2 million home in Portsmouth. Please don't say that because you do not understand regular people's concern. People cry in my arms on these issues. And hope for the best.
Let her go. Let her go.
Annihilated. Fatality.
She's so polished and like, God, who does she look like?
She's really beautiful.
She's
I don't know who that woman is, but yeah, wow.
There are more clips of this gal, but I can't believe she's following me. God, I'm gonna have to hit her up for an interview. Okay, wow.
She's awesome. All the stuff, like even when she was running not way back, but like over the years that she's run, she's a fucking spitfire. Like it's wild.
Can I vote for her?
Sure.
She's running for governor, I'm pretty sure. So
okay, well, I will vote for governor president lady.
Governor president.
Yes, I will write her.
I still can't believe she follows me. I'm not gonna get over
You have
that.
It blows my mind that you're surprised that people follow you, Chrissy. Like like anytime I bring up the fact that when I talk about you or anything like that, they're just like, oh yeah, I love her, she's hilarious.
Who are these people that love me? All I see are, I hope your kid's retarded. I hope you die. That's all I'm looking at.
I try to share some love with you on that godforsaken site.
You're one of the good ones, Lady G.
I try.
I also have the mental problem of just focusing on the negative. So because
Everyone has that, right?
Yeah. Well,
Because
you're more likely to remember, like, you're more likely to remember embarrassing or hurtful memories than you are like the joyful ones, unless the dopamine high is so much, like giving birth or like your wedding day. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, I remember when I was in 3rd grade and I was up there sharpening my pencil and I broke the pencil sharpener off the wall. Like, it's the old, do you guys remember the old manual pencil sharpeners that like placed it on and cranked? Yeah, it broke apart because this thing was old. It was so old, and it broke apart, and I got covered in pencil shaving dust. And I was like super embarrassed because, you know, like the kids are laughing and you're in front, and of course the pencil sharpener is always at the front of the classroom where everybody can see you. And so like I'm covered in pencil dust shaving dust.
I get that because probably no one saw you. But like it was so it traumatized you.
You should have gone to my school, Lady G, because there was a guy, we'll just say his name was Amit Klein because that was his name, who shat his pants in 8th grade. We were doing our like final exams, whatever. He shat his pants. I guess he ran out of the room, shitting his pants. And this was right at the end of the year. And then we all show up to 9th grade. Everyone forgets but me. And I was like, are we all just going to forget that this kid just shit his pants? And now he's cool and popular because he's rich and he's a big house and parties. We're all just going to pretend this kid didn't shit his pants 3 months ago? Okay, fine.
Can I vote for him? I'm going to write his. Okay.
Maybe
write it.
You would have been
I
like,
wanted everyone. I was just like, I was kind of a little bit
like no one's going to remember that. Like, okay, he's cool because why? Parties?
Yeah.
He shit his pants 3 days ago. Yeah.
I think some of my favorite moments are like nobody is gonna remember. Like you're hyper fixated on it. Nobody's gonna remember. But like it's still, you can still play those horrifying moments over in your head. That's why psychological, like when people are just like, oh, you know, like what's the scariest horror film, especially because Halloween just ended or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I don't really like the gore stuff because when you see enough of it in real life, you don't really need to see it in like
Rosemary's Baby and The Ring. Love those movies.
I can't watch the psychological shit. The psychological shit is so much more than like the gory stuff. Like
gore is like whatever that like witches, religious.
Oh, like you mean like the Saw movies? Those
Yeah, that's not
like,
that scary to me. It's like weird culty things. Oh,
what the last house on the left, dude. That I was so
I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. Synopsis: bad people attempt to they do kidnap, rape, and murder one of the friends, and one of the girls survives, and then she crawls back to her parents' house. And then but the parents, the killers and rapists are staying at the house, and the parents find out, and now you're like, and then it very much becomes they're not locked in with the people that are staying there. The people that came there are now locked in with the parents, and it
psychological horror is far worse.
It's bruh, some of the torture and some of the psychological shit. Oh my god! If you ever really want to fuck with your head, there's a movie called Mindhunters, and it's got Val Kilmer in it.
I'd rather watch House Hunters.
It's yes, House Hunters much
or
happier.
Hoarders. That's about
dude.
That's psychological horror. That is,
I know.
I'm
like, you don't need a newspaper from 20 years ago.
Is it okay if I throw away this shoot? No.
Yeah,
I need that.
The lady who was storing and reusing like pads and shit. Did you guys see that one? she was crapping in a bucket, and then when it would get full, she'd take a smaller bucket and she'd ladle the poop and the pee into the smaller bucket, and then she'd walk out to the front yard, and then she'd pour her waste into her front yard.
And I vote
Like,
for her.
I had wonton soup for dinner, so I'm imagining this is very similar.
Yeah, it's bleh. Like
gross.
she was like, oh, hoarders.
I just
is
went from
something
hungry to
else.
not hungry.
I'm sorry.
So you're
But
so
that's
thin.
psychological
Ladling.
horror. It's just like the
Oh.
way these people live their lives, and you're just like, bruh,
It's a mental illness. It's very sad. It's
It
awful.
is.
It's
just
a little
like-
bit fascinating to be like, well, what happened to you that made you this way? Like, and just
I also go like, should we be recording these people?
I know.
But
I
whatever.
know.
It's America. Like, okay.
Where
Yeah.
yeah, it's where the one lady where they walked in, and it's just piles of like old adult diapers and trash, and they're like we're like, you don't see like can you see why this would be dangerous? And she's like, honestly,
No.
she's like, I can't smell anything, it doesn't bother me. Like their
Nose
senses
blind.
are so destroyed that they can't they just look past it. They're like, oh, I have a roof over my head, so I'm good.
This
And you're
is what
just like,
happens when people
"Ugh."
stop engaging in hookup culture, because when you are constantly bringing people over to your house, you're constantly like, all right, let me clean
can't
this
have
up.
all
Let
of
me make sure
the
there's fresh
diapers.
towels.
Have you
Let me
seen
make
that
sure I'm
episode?
making my bed?
Have you seen that episode of Friends where Ross goes over to the girls' apartment? Like, it's literally like the dirty girls' apartment. And then at the very end, Monica, who's got the OCD cleaning disorder or whatever, she's like, my brother told me about your apartment. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but can I clean it? Because I couldn't sleep thinking about your apartment.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like that filthy or whatever. She's a
Yeah.
gorgeous woman, but like her apartment is just like absolutely trashed and filthy.
There's a
It's-
difference between dirty and like untidy. Are we talking like
Yes.
not
No,
cleaning?
no.
Big difference.
Yes,
There's
there's
Like
organized
cleaning,
chaos.
like not putting away the clean laundry, or like you haven't vacuumed, you haven't cleaned the floors, you haven't dusted a thing.
There's filth, and then there's like artistic messiness. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
But that's the thing. When you're
well, it's-
cleaning, do you move the artistic messiness, and then because usually the cleaning is the excuse to organize
I
the
don't like
artistic messiness.
either. I want everything in its place and call it a day. Like, but there is like something chic about like, you know, like an Edie Sedgwick in the factory. Like, oh, I left all of my lip glosses on the couch. Like that's artistic messiness, not like a there's dust on the
Like
ceiling.
you had a spill and you didn't clean it up, and now it's sticky and brown on the floor.
Not good.
Yeah, there's a difference between you know, you haven't taken the trash has been full for a day and a half, and the trash has been overflowing, and it's now you've got trash bags around the trash can because you haven't taken the trash
like
out.
when
in,
you're
like-
at a hotel and you don't get like the maid service, and you have like the full trash, and then like the bags of the trash next to it.
Imposter syndrome. Every time we've stayed together in hotel, I'm like, let the maid clean. Are you crazy? Like, no, I'll do it. No,
I'll make my bed like.
I do too. Yeah, I'll
like, what are you doing? Putting the thing.
You
like,
know why?
don't-
Because it's fun. It's fun to be clean at a hotel because there's so much less to pick up because it's just the stuff you brought for that trip.
You're paying for the hotel. Let them come in and make the bed for you. Let them come in and.
I do like a tight tuck. I do like
Don't we all?
And then you get in and you feel like a little sardine, and you're like, I'm cozy. And then I like it when it's like a big bed, and I just sleep in the little corner on the side, and then really like 3/4 of the bed is still
Again,
made.
this weirdness. You get in the middle of there, girl. You know, you don't deserve.
I deserve it.
You do deserve it, Chrissy.
On
You
the
have absolutely. I think no, I love I like the have you guys ever the like egg chairs, or like I don't know what they're called, but they're like the big saucers and you like sink down into them.
Oh yeah, and you're like
and then I just like to get like a really fluffy blankie. Yes, blankie. Because when you're in like that snuggle sesh and you just like
a
tuck yourself-
womb.
Yes, and you just like curl up and you're good for 10 seconds until one of the 4 children needs you, and then you have to go do things. And then they steal your little spot, and you're just like, enjoy.
You have
enjoy,
4
'cause I'm
kids?
coming back. Yeah, I got 4.
Oh.
I have, so they are 12, 10, 8, and 6.
Oh my god.
Yes, they are. My hubby and I are very proud of them. Best things
That's
that I've ever
cool.
done in my life.
Girls, boys, all girls. 2 and 2?
I don't actually share that publicly.
Okay, good to
for
know.
several
All right.
reasons, but I will say that I have gotten
They didn't
to.
see
I've
a
gotten to.
TikTok and choose their own gender. They
Yeah,
are what
right.
they were born as. Yes. Okay.
Yes. No, they very much I've gotten to enjoy raising an entire plethora of different
Okay,
needs
so you have
and stuff like that. We've got sports, we've got music, we've got art, we've got one who thinks they are a comedian and is pulling out old dad jokes like, what do you call two banana peels?
I'm actually one of her daughters. That's
Yes. Chrissie is one of mine, absolutely.
And so am I. Exactly. Same thing.
But
she thinks she's a comedian. That's something my mom would say if she was still alive, like present day, would say that to somebody.
Nah, but I it's really
Good for
interesting.
you.
It's no, I love being a wife and being a mother, two of the best things that ever happened to me.
I agree.
It's so funny because and I say this with love, my husband and I had very different growing up experiences. He's only he was my second boyfriend ever. And he was only the second guy or the third guy I ever kissed. So the first boy I ever kissed, I was 19 when I got my first kiss. And we were like, ooh, that was like kissing a sibling. That's weird. We're just going to stay
because
friends.
it was your sibling. No.
Yes, Alabama represent. What? No. Just kidding. But
you just kissed who was around. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we did our first kiss and we were like, yeah, that was weird. And then I was actually engaged before my husband, but he didn't make it through boot camp, and we had the very tough discussion where he was like, listen, I don't resent you now, and stuff like that. And he goes, but I know myself well enough. If I have to follow you and watch you do all of the things that I was supposed to be able to do. So he fell off of something called the Stairway to Heaven and he broke his back. So he washed out of boot camp. Yeah.
Wow.
So he had a training accident. And he was like, I know that if I have to follow you around and watch you do all of the Marine stuff that I was supposed to do, I am going to start to feel resentment, and I don't want to hate you, and I don't want to bring that poison into our relationship. And so that was really rough. But I understood.
Wow. I'm sorry. I just Googled what you're talking about. Holy shit. It's like
the Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. It's like this incredibly high ladder.
Yeah. He fell off of the second log from the top.
Oh,
so
no.
It's he bounced. He didn't die, which is shocking, honestly. So
oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
It's
so
amazing he lived.
Yes, it is really amazing he lived. And so we separated and I was single, and then my husband, it was my second week at my squadron. I had just come back from a 5-mile run. I was in my PT gear, which we're not allowed to go out in town in. He was getting off of swing and he pulled up in this single cab sidestep 2000 millennial yellow pickup. And he cut the engine that was just like roaring, and he was like, hey, you're so-and-so, right? And I was like, who are you? I don't know you. Yep, Stairway to Heaven. It will send you to heaven.
I wonder how far I could get. How high off the ground is the first one?
So you have to. So for the males and the females is different. The males, I believe, is 8 foot, and the females is 6.
You have to jump up 6 feet in the air.
Yes, you have to get up. You have to get up on the bottom one, and then.
So you get on it like a sloth, and then you have
so you
to
gotta
like
kick
hook
your
your
leg over. Yeah, and then you
Okay.
got to climb up one side, and you have to kick over to the other and come down the other. That's
But at
why
least you can use the vertical ones.
Yes, you can. A lot of
for training. Oh,
yeah, that's
like-
for training. So a lot of the way, so you see where the yellow is? It's
Mhm.
actually what a lot of Marines do. You run up to one of the side pools and you literally jump and you jump onto that, and then it's almost like a parkour move. You jump and kick
Yeah,
and
like
then throw yourself
parkouring.
up to the other one.
This is what I
because-
imagine like Artie Lang's dad fell off of, you know?
I
Like,
would
that's-
love to try this, but be like
the
tethered
O
to
course is
something.
a boot camp. Boot camp was the most fun I would never want to have again. It's a great
It
time,
was
but
just like a big Spartan race.
Does it like trigger you to watch American Ninja Warrior?
no,
or
I
anything?
love that shit. I really do. But I'm also not getting screamed at by a DI constantly.
Oh, that's true.
So there's that. But it's boot camp is something I could explain it to you in vivid detail, but it's one of those things you have to experience for yourself to truly get. But yeah,
I love boots, so I'm sure like you get all different kinds of boots and
Yep, you get your jungle boots, you get your regular
high-heel
boots.
boots.
I was air wing, so I got steel toe boots. Those bitches were heavy. But yeah, good times. Well, really, so there was a guy, so they don't do it now, but I was 4th Battalion there. So females all trained at Parris Island, and we were all in the same battalion from across, so Parris Island, South Carolina. We were all across America. We trained down there in 4th Battalion. So in our brother company, I tracked with Charlie, which means we were going through the same cycle. And there was a guy in that company who was 7'2". So like Stairway to Heaven, he just had to like reach up and pull himself up on the log.
Cool.
But that son of a bitch could not climb a rope to save he couldn't do S break, he couldn't do J break, he could not pull himself up a rope to save his soul.
Isn't that funny? Like, yeah. some
Yeah,
things are
it's
easy.
wild. So, but
That's cool.
fuck, he could run. So Marines have to run a 3 mile, and to get a perfect score, men have to run 3 miles in 18 minutes, and females have to run 3 miles in 21 minutes.
Oh my
And
god.
this motherfucker could do it
Wow.
in like 16:10. There was a gunny, though. I will never forget this. This man could run the 3 miles backwards faster than I could forward. He could do it in 19 minutes. And my fastest time that I ever clocked, the fastest time I ever clocked was 20 minutes, 58 seconds. He was a full minute and a half faster than me. Like, it was just fucking wild.
He would have excelled in women's sports.
Yes,
that's
he
for
would
sure.
have. But yeah, no, it's good shit. I miss it every day, but not to fuck. Kiana,
Yeah,
if you think there's politics and
you know, so
Yeah.
good.
but it's and then so met hubby when we got married, and everybody was like, oh, it's your first marriage, service member marriages don't last, and here we are 13 years later.
Fuck yeah.
So
you.
good shit.
Round of applause.
But
You know what?
I
I'm going to give
appreciate
you
it,
for
but-
that. I'm going to give you a chirp. No.
I will go change the battery. No, just kidding.
I should have a more uplifting sound effect. Let's see. How about this one? So specific to
Yeah, it's been
Lewis. It's not gonna.
No, you're good. No, yeah, it's been 13 years, and we've made it through a heart attack, cancer, poverty, 4 kids. We've done and
God.
2 deployments.
Wow.
Good shit. He's best man I've ever met. I don't know. Like, I honestly I look at him some days and I'm just like, bruh, like, I'm not sure how I got you, but I'm really hoping you don't figure out that I don't
You're a
deserve
badass bitch that can
You
climb
got
up
it with that ass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Cause the pussy's that good.
It's
Sorry.
true.
I can't believe I just said that.
I do have to I do have to make my leave,
Old
or else
Nerdy-
my
Old
betrothed.
Nerdy says, "Are we talking horror? The substance was amazing and brilliant." No, not today, Old Nerdy. Matthew Hammond, Hostel was more terrifying than Terrifier 3. I don't know about that. I don't like to watch scary
Hostel
things.
that's a gory one. Yeah.
My own life is scary enough, so I'm good. on that.
Just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiki, where can people find you? What's coming up?
Keanu C. Thompson, subscribe. And also subscribe to the podcast, KeanuCast, wherever you find your podcast. And also probably Kiki in the morning tomorrow. And if I am feeling sassy and can't sleep, I may play Dress to Impress, which Chrissy, you have to play with me sometime.
Ooh, okay.
This is the most insane game. It is a fashion show game. I think it should be the pre and post show of nightlife. It's not like a game, but you just walk around as a model and then you pick out clothes with a theme, and then you meet the people in the chat, and that's what it is. So
that sounds cute. Everyone follow Keanu, Keanu C. Thompson, all the things. Lady G, very cool popping of her SimpCast cherry. Very passionate. I'm a big fan. Tell the people where they can find you and what's coming up.
Well, first and foremost, you should subscribe to these two fantastic ladies. They were amazing, as always. I've watched SimpCast several times. Keanu's one of my favorites. You guys
gotta do KeanuCast soon. Then I would love that. My mom would love you. Oh my gosh,
it would be quite a treat. Very much a pleasure.
Yes.
So, and like you've had some fire people on tonight. I mean, that was my first time meeting Mike, but he is a doll. I love him.
He is such a doll.
Awesome. Nina is always just so much fun, and freaking Candace. That's the first time I've ever met her too. She's a very fantastic, like just fiery, passionate, wonderful lady for sure. So you've had some killer folks on tonight for sure. So make sure everybody chat. You remain undefeated. Much love to you.
Yeah.
I'm here on YouTube as Lady Gravemaster, and you can also find me on Twitter. I do have an Instagram that I don't use. That's a whole other topic. I don't know. Do you ladies know what Bookstagram is? Or like Book Talk?
No.
Bookstagram was where, so for about 2 seconds, it was sharing good books that maybe were less mainstream. And it very quickly devolved into book boyfriend slutty books that 50 Shades of Grey stuff. Very, very fast. And I'm more of like an adventure hero type story, epic story, much less that. So far less time on Instagram, but I do have one. I should probably try and use it. But mostly you can find me on Twitter and here on YouTube. But you should definitely subscribe to Chrissie because she's amazing, and Keanu because she's amazing. So definitely show them some love. Chat, I did not see you this evening, but chat, she kept popping stuff up. You guys were on
I watched them. They were great. Tomorrow, I'm interviewing John Kahn at 3:30 and Devori Darkins at 9:30. Tuesday may have election coverage. Depends if I can get the studio.
Oh my god!
By then,
I like how you like May, like maybe
Thursday, 5:00. Ron Coleman will be on the program, and then of course Nightlife at 9 p.m. Eastern, and of course Friday is Friday Night Tights, 4:00 on Nerdrotics channel. Thank you for watching SimpCast. You guys are the best, and we'll see you next time. Bye.